Greetings, salutations, and other big words. My name's Ethan. My handle is Wrangler. Welcome to Frequency Studios, weekly Wing It number 126 here on Rumble and YouTube. And that reminds me, I need to learn to check my Rumble chat because it doesn't pop up here on the StreamYards thing.
Rumble's a thing? Half your age, give or take a decade.
And starting it off with us tonight is Mr. Billy Bawb Sack.
Cuplaw.
And also joining us tonight, the historian, Readout Productions.
I return to the stream waves to probably regret it. To learn about horrible stuff that's happening in the world.
No good deed goes unpunished, and you will certainly be punished.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to send you something.
And also joining us, the water weasel ain't the only weasel in the crowd. We got the badger down there, Mr. James Esparza.
He's not really a water weasel. Oh. James, you gonna say hi?
There you go. My bad. I had my mic was muted. I'd have my avatar up, but I'm currently eating tamales in solidarity with the LA riots, of course.
We're gonna get into that later as well.
Is that the official ration to the rioters? Do they have boxes full of tamales on the buses that shuttle them in, along with the crates full of bricks that was also
well, the bricks actually were not an issue, at least the ones from yesterday. Probably the new ones. Yesterday's bricks were literally right next to a Home Depot in their overstock pile. So, but that's not saying they probably didn't use the bricks, but that's generally where they came from. But it's LA, so there's plenty of food carts to go around.
This is not wrong.
It was pretty good food carts too.
I watched Andrew Wilson, who was covering that the last 2 nights on the actual going on the streamers. The people recording reporters and shit.
Yeah, I was watching one of those too yesterday.
Yeah, I watched one of them. They had like a trash can and cardboard and some like benches as a barricade. Yesterday they had like a red benches barricade.
They tried to do the barricade.
They look like little tiny rats when the cops actually push forward and start shooting tear gas and rubber bullets at them.
There are barricades made of earth, stone, and logs that are still surviving at Gettysburg 150 years later.
Yeah, but that was set up by people who actually...
yeah.
Dude, and then there was the video, and this made me laugh, and I actually love that this happened, and the cop's not going to get in trouble. The fucking cop who shot that fucking Australian white bitch reporter. Fucking hilarious. Dude, it was so perfect. You literally see her talking and shit. I wonder if I can find the video. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
and you can see the cop point up the gun and immediately shoot.
I've seen a funny one where there's this chick.
Generate memes?
There's this chick, right? Flat as all can be on both ends. Pale as Casper. She looks like she got out of the cancer ward. Go over here. And she's standing in front of this cop who just got this blank, I just want to go home face on. And she's all like, I know, officer, that you hate yourself because you have to stand here and fight for this regime. I know you hate yourself over this. I can see it in your eye. You know, it's a white chick.
Dude in the jacket? Oh, okay. There was a white dude in the jacket. He's very gay, by the way. Very gay.
This one was a chick, yeah, but it was funny because we zoomed in on the cop's face, and he's like, I don't give a shit.
Let me expand my screen to get a good look at this.
Dude, this shit was hilarious. I loved it. Fuck Australia and fuck you, nasty looking. Oh my god. Ugh.
9 News. 999 News.
9.
How do they get someone down there so fast?
He said, I saw her reaching for something. Shot her right in the fucking ass with it.
Look how close she is.
Yeah, I bet you she was talking a lot of shit too, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking just pop this bitch."
Look how close they are, man. This is the things with reporters and shit. They think they could just get up on people's faces.
Imagine getting one of them stingers like right in the kidney. Ooh.
That's funny. That is funny.
I feel that for a few days.
Either way, this has been hilarious. These fucking leftist faggots are actually finding out what actual consequences look like when they start trying to riot and shit like they did in the summer of love in 2020.
Well, you say actual consequences. Their DA down there is Marxist, so there you go.
That's true, but they're about to get hit with federal charges with the military there. So.
I hope so. I hope they get hit with federal charges. Oh, fuckers.
And they got called in because, if I remember correctly, right, Trump called in the National Guard, which was like 2000. Yes. He's now called in like the full military, right?
At least 800 Marines are reported they were deployed into Southern California.
I guarantee you, if he doesn't do anything, none of the local Marxists in power are going to try to stop him.
Yeah, and because they were also starting to throw Molotovs, of course.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing when they ordered the driverless the automatic vehicles that drive themselves. They ordered 5 of them just to set them on fire. And when one of them was burning in the background, you could hear a woman screaming, "We're just trying to practice our freedom of speech." Like, okay, yeah. Sure.
I'm sick of these people abusing the First Amendment and all of the amendment and everything that is given in the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and other amendments. I'm sick of the abuse.
And then they turn around and try to censor everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah, they always focus on the First Amendment without realizing how much other things they're breaking. Like, they take up roads. Okay, well, you're disturbing other people's right to travel. Do they care? No.
Listen, I think we can all agree. We don't care that they're trying to use that and be like, as a defense. We don't care. Just get curb stomped and kicked in the nuts. Just constantly do it to them. I don't give a fuck. These fucking people are absolute pieces of shit. They are. Like, literally, the not last night, but the night before, I watched literally someone light a fucking the store chain on fire. Started it.
Yeah, there's always a fire. Someone always.
And I'm like,
that's fire.
That pisses. Yeah, I mean,
there's always a fire. Yeah, it's right. It's just spontaneously fire. I'm rioting fire. I don't know how it got there, but fire.
You know what's funny is
it comes with the riot starter package.
Yeah. Well, that black clothing and black masks,
yeah.
And you're called in.
That's actually what I really like about living where I am. I'm 4 hours away. I'm in a purple location. So you got crazies around here, but it's also 109 degrees outside. So yeah, you're not going to run around in black burning things because you're going to be the one burning at 109 degrees.
Well, see, I live in a red state, so even if they tried that shit, everyone shoots.
I've seen fights broken up by the weather before. It's like there were a couple dudes, they would have gone at it, but they both agreed it was too hot to fight. Any other time they would have ripped each other apart.
Just drenched in sweat. You go outside for 2 minutes. Over here, you're drenched in sweat. It's like an oven outside. But yeah, a real tragedy occurred when I started digging into my second tamale here. The first one was chicken. I found out, real tragedy. The second one is a corn tamale. Now, to those of you who don't know, a corn tamale has literally nothing inside of it. It's literally just a giant thing of masa, because the masa, or the type of flour they use to make this, is corn. So when they say corn tamale,
that's a lot of corn.
Yeah, it's just.
So did you buy this?
It's like a hamburger old beef.
No. It was given to us. They gave us a handful. But
it's a wheat burger.
It's not bad. It's often used as a dessert because corn's got that very sweet taste to it at times, and they kind of ramp up the sweetness. So it's more of a dessert tamale.
there, the more you
But
know.
I was really hoping it would be beef or something, you know.
So read out. I know you're biting at the chomp. I know you want to talk about it. WWE, your favorite company.
Oh yes.
What happened?
I need more of this.
So while we
They're not
start off
doing
with
good.
yeah, let's start off with the pricing.
What?
What they're charging now, which by the way is backfiring terribly.
Yeah, so long story short, about was it 2.5 years ago, WWE got bought out by TKO, which is the holding company for UFC. The McMahons are no longer in charge of the company. Triple H is
So
mess.
keep in mind, Vince McMahon is best friends with the dude who owns TKO, right? Or one of the dude shareholders, one of the higher ups there.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
And they end up actually very overpaying for WWE than the actual market price.
Well, at least Vince got money. None of us do.
Anyways, read out if you can. Can you bring up what the damn arena looks like now? The mats and shit.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to show you an image. Let me just describe you. You know, when all these people complain about capitalism being a dystopia and rambling how evil capitalism is, this is kind of the end result. Not really. Imagine advertisements upon the advertisements, upon the advertisements, upon the advertisements.
So like a hockey match?
Oh my god, here we go.
Worse.
Oh my god.
It makes the boards of an NHL hockey rink look white. That's how many adverts are all over the ring mat, over the turnbuckles, over the barricades, over the flipping tables that are used during some of your hardcore matches. Yes, they have a Slim Jims advert on some of these tables now.
That's like the articles that I read that my phone Google suggests to me through the phone. It's like, this is happening with the Avengers, blah blah blah. You got to read it, and you can't read it because it's
yes. I wish I could use ad blocker every time I watch Monday Night Raw.
Oh, that's another thing. They made so Raw made a deal with Netflix, right? And Netflix started off with like 10 million, and now they're down to like less than 1 million, right?
I honestly don't know whenever it comes to streaming and trying to keep count of views. I don't understand it.
If I remember correctly, it's like it's in the middle. It's such a massive drop off that Nintendo's probably like, oh, fuck me, because they're paying.
For the record, this is tame. The advertising on that map for Raw is tame compared to what you see at the pay-per-views.
Let me see if I can find the pay-per-view one.
What was the WrestleMania game that was on? I think GameCube. Was it 19?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, but
that's a toy ring.
I had a good time with that. It's got a character builder in there, so I pretty much built facsimiles for both me and my buddy at the time, and we put ourselves in a cage match against Andre the Giant, Big Show, Undertaker, and Kane, and we got utterly wrecked.
For the record, the advertisements are there, but you don't see them as much because they're used in more of your classic bluish ring mat. They're using a black ring canvas on Raw. I don't know why. It's not good look.
Let me see if I can find that Slim Jim table.
Yeah, it does exist. I can confirm. The Slim Jim table does
Slim
exist.
Jim.
Snap into a freaking table.
Devon,
I'm surprised the wrestlers haven't come out. I'm surprised the wrestlers haven't come out like with like their entire like outfits just covered
like they're a freaking NASCAR race. Yeah. You remember when it was cool when you had all the sponsors on your NASCAR jacket? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. There it is.
For a while,
wait, why wouldn't it just be an actual Slim Jim, right? Because you crack, right? Why wouldn't it be a Slim Jim? Actually, you know what? It'd be Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Because that would actually be creative somewhat. This is slop. Right? We are in the age of slop. Regardless of what your entertainment is, we are in the age of slop.
They literally just slapped a giant sticker on it. So
they really did. It's like the Impact world
Not gonna
title
lie,
2
it would be
years
funny
ago.
if that was a Kit Kat ad.
It would be.
Perfect.
At least it'd be creative.
And they have a crack drawn down the middle where it's going to snap.
So what we're bringing up is the ticket prices are off the charts.
Yeah, the ticket prices are like for the front row seats, it's like $34,000.
Why?
That's like buying a car.
How?
Is Donald Trump going to show up every night?
If
No,
only.
he don't show up at all. I don't think he'll ever show up because Vince McMahon's
Not for these. Yeah, no, he's not there anymore.
What's up, Raven?
Hey
Hail,
guys.
immortal.
I
But
was wondering if this was something new or one of the old 80s ones, but this sounds like it's something new.
WWE stuff.
Yeah.
nah, this was recently. I think in the last 2 months, right? They jacked up the prices on everything, and it got so bad that they had to cancel one of the shows this last couple of weeks because they were trying to hit like 4 different shows in one area.
Well, here, let me just give you a comparison. Now, this is just for Monday Night Raw, your plain old Monday Night Raw, which will be coming from the paint, whatever. We call our freaking arena the Paint Bucket. That's our nickname in Pittsburgh. We used to have the beautiful Mellon Arena. Now we got the paint. To be fair, the PBG Paints Arena is a very nice venue, but the Mellon Arena was more iconic.
Man, it's so
Anyways.
nice. It was worth that taxpayer dollars, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it was. No. Anyways, if you want to get nosebleed seats, I'm talking the upper bowl of the PBG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh for June 30th, you're paying about $75. If you want to get as close to the ring as possible, this is not front row, by the way. It's about 3 rows back. It is $800
Oh,
for
geez.
Monday Night Raw. This is not front row, but this is floor seating. $800 for just a small Monday Night Raw event coming from Pittsburgh. This is not pay-per-view. You don't want me to tell you the pay-per-view prices.
Dude, and the Monday Night Raw, they only one of the arenas they were in is a 19,000 arena. They could only sold like 9,000 tickets as well.
Yeah, Paint Bucket's about 20,000 fans, by the way.
Yeah,
I think it's about
that's pretty
20,000
bad.
seater.
Like, sure, like they're making record money, which won't last forever. Because there's no way in hell someone's going to pay each month $34,000 at these pay-per-views and Raw and all the other shit.
There's making a quick buck and there's long-term sustainability. Big difference.
Yeah.
And then there was what was the controversy? Like they actually WWE had the first real blowback with R-Truth, right?
Yeah, nobody knows what really happened. Now everybody's like, oh, it was all part of the story. It's all part, we're working you. Hergy. I don't know. From what I've gathered,
that wasn't working you. That was real.
Yeah, Ron Killings, who goes by R-Truth, and he's been in the wrestling industry for about 3 decades, former 2-time NWA world champion. He's been mostly a comedic character on WWE the past decade and a half. Everybody likes him. Like, for all accounts, fans adore him. The backstage staff adore him. He's just a boost of morale for everybody. Yeah, they did not renew his contract. They chose not to renew his contract because they didn't find it a worthwhile investment. That was last week. Of course, social media ran wild with that. And the rumor is the only way he got a contract back, because people from WWE were trying to reach out to him, he only started talking when basically Nick Khan, who's basically the figurehead of WWE now, actually reached out to Ron Killings and basically like, all right, what deal would you want?
But they should. Let me put it like this. The dude's like 50-something years old.
53.
He can still do it. He still makes money. He still sells merch. If you're trying to be a branding towards kids, he's very well for it. He's been doing it for 20-some years in WWE.
Yeah, president of the WWE TKO board of directors. That's who Nick Khan is. So apparently all these underlings were reaching out to Ron Killings like, well, how are you doing? Is there any type of severance package we can reach you? And he didn't respond until Nick Khan himself, the president of the company, was like, all right, what can we do? And they did renegotiate a new contract. Now he's signed back on.
I hope he let him draw.
I think he did.
I hope he really fucking hit him because they fucking deserved it. This dude, by the way, he's been in wrestling since 1997, 98.
I know
wow.
he was on WWE during the Attitude Era. He didn't have like a main role. He was there in the late 90s. Then he was in TNA for a while. That's where he got his 2 NWA world titles. And I think it was like 2009 he came back into WWE. Yeah, 97 is when he began his professional career.
Yeah, he debuted in WWE in 1999. Now I know he's from WWE or from WCW, right?
No, I don't think he was, unless he had some just exhibition matches.
Well, I know it was late 90s. He did go to TNA, and then that's when he came back in 2000s, because that's actually where I know him from, was back in TNA. Which he got fucked over in that wrestling program as well.
Yeah, well, he had to team up with Pac-Man Jones. That was a thing that happened. Does anybody remember Pac-Man Jones?
I don't.
You know what's funny
Cornerback,
enough?
I think, for the Bungles.
He actually did pretty good with WrestleMania. I think it was 26 or 26. Because he was like tag team partners with Big Show, I think, or something like that.
He was in some sort of tag team match.
I don't know. I just know that actually the ending to that match was pretty well done. And that fucking WrestleMania was it was okay.
I remember one time when Big Show was told that he was being put in a match against somebody he really didn't want to face. And I think it was even Mick Foley, who was commissioner at the time. He goes, look, you can pick 2 people to join you against the tag team if you want. I don't care, but your face. And so he went around asking, and everyone was like, no, no, no. So he finally goes up to, I think it was Kai and Tai. And pretty much they're like, oh, we're with Big Show. We can't lose. And then that's when they get in the ring. That's when they find out that the tag team they're facing are the Brothers of Destruction.
Wasn't that
and it was brutal.
Wasn't that the most infamous fucking, one of the most infamous SummerSlam matches? How terrible it was? It was the Brothers of Destruction and Big Show, right? I'm trying to remember. It's one of the SummerSlam. It's regarded as one of the worst matches ever on a pay-per-view.
Oh, this was on I think it was on a SmackDown. This one happened, but
there was
one of the most disturbing was Big Show versus Rey Mysterio, when he strapped him to a stretcher and then swung the stretcher like a baseball bat against the pole ring, or the ring pole. I was like, oh, that hurt just to watch it.
Well, I mean, yeah, well, if I remember correctly, I watched an interview where they were like, because they were like, oh, we're going to do this. And then they didn't really think it through about, oh, yeah, inertia of swinging this weight. You can't do anything about stopping it. So that's when they had, it was Rey Mysterio fell right on his face because, you know, he couldn't actually keep hold
that was
of him.
the worst part, the way he landed.
But that was originally planned. That wasn't like improvised or anything. They just didn't think it through. No one said, hey, maybe we should do this.
Oh, yeah. You know what? They probably got over that line long, long ago if they're in this profession. They're like, yeah, I'm going to get hurt. I might even end up in the hospital. Screw it. I'm selling this. Let's try it. That's probably their attitude.
Yeah, until their neck breaks or they're paralyzed. Mm-hmm. But there's a bunch of shit. I mean, you had that. Of course, they fucking fumbled John Cena turning heel.
Yeah, it turns out all the stuff with The Rock over the past year and a half, it was a whole lot of nothing, that storyline. The Rock just shows up when he feels like it because he's part of the board of directors. And he wants all the attention to himself.
Do you think he's sabotaging them?
I don't know if he's intentionally sabotaging them. I think it's more just it's The Rock being The Rock. Oh, I want to be on the show tonight.
He reached the point where he's too full of himself. His humility is gone.
Yeah, but I think there is some sabotage going there. Because if you look up some of his tweets, one of the people he tweeted at,
there is that argument that The Rock's basically screwing the company over due to some.
Well, screwing Triple H over.
Yeah,
look like a dumbass, and it has worked.
It has worked.
I have no idea what's going on with Triple H. The last time I paid attention to Triple H, he was coming back from a nasty muscle tear in his leg.
So Triple H basically.
Oh God, that was 2002.
Basically, him and Stephanie tried to push out Vince. They kind of succeeded, but not really, because Vince actually owned the fucking company and all the shares and was able to get back on the board.
Is this storyline or is
this is real life?
Oh wow.
Yeah,
we're talking like late 2010s.
And then that didn't work. And like I said, Vince, I forgot the name, who the dude is. One of the people on the TKO, who's the one who actually initiated buying the company, him and Vince.
I think it was Dave Kahn, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know for certain, but
yeah, him and Vince are like 25-year plus friendship. And like I said, TKO actually way overpaid for WWE by like billions. What it's actually worth. But anyways, TKO runs it. Now, Rock is on that board as well. He's actually a board member. Triple H is not a board member. He's actually the head of creative. And then I think, what is it? Shawn Michaels is over NXT development. And Road Dogg is over like SmackDown, right?
Basically, DX is in charge of the creative situation in WWE right now, like of creating the storylines.
And
like,
they've been abysmally fucking horrible at the job. From top to bottom. They do not know what the fuck they're doing. And now we're getting like when I showed that arena, dude. When they showed that ring, that is disgusting. Fucking advertisement on the mat.
With Prime, the energy drink from Logan Paul, being the center of freaking attention. That's your big sponsor. Freaking Prime. I'm not joking. Not Amazon Prime. Prime, the energy drink that may kill you if you drink it.
And then there's no storylines. There's no actual build up.
Well, they think they can basically play this whole, well, we'll allude to something. We're being very subtle and then never follow through with it. But then people say, no, you got to trust the plan. They sound like a bunch of QAnon fears. Trust the plan, bruh.
And dude, we are so far away from The Rock, like the early 2000s, and being able to cut promos and do it really fucking entertaining really well. We're so far from that. We're like really scripted, all silly fucking ass. It's really bad shit talking. It's and then they're not really properly training the wrestlers how to react when something's not going over well, and most of the time they just double down. And it's just bad.
It just seems to be the corporate culture in the U.S. lately, as far as publicly in the public eye, anyway.
Well, TKO is like when we talk about the actual slimy capitalism. TKO.
Yeah, this is it.
That's what we're talking about.
Now,
the conglomerates, the companies owning companies, the monopolies. That's part of the problem. Everybody buying everybody out.
Irrelevant, but where does Shane McMahon fit in all this?
Oh, Vince kicked him out, and Stephanie. Even though every wrestler you hear talking about, like everyone loves Shane McMahon, and someone who actually loved the fucking, the wrestling industry and shit and the company.
Yeah.
He's completely got fucking shafted at it.
Yeah, Shane has his own business interests, and he's appeared on WWE now and again, but for by and large, he is out of having shares in the company, to the best of my knowledge.
Well, if I remember correctly,
he used to do that awesome cornering to cornering jump attack. It was just amazing to watch.
Vince picked the wrong fucking child. He should have picked Shane. He shouldn't have picked Stephanie, who fucking...
This is really starting to sound like a Yellowstone thing.
What?
The McMahons are really starting to sound like the Duttons now that you start describing it like this.
I haven't really... I've only watched like the first season and a little bit of the other ones. I'm assuming in that one he picks his fucking alcoholic bitch daughter or something. Instead of the one who actually was good for the company. Especially since everyone has something good to say about Shane. everyone, that's pretty fucking impressive. Especially since there's actually not really any consequences to talking shit about him, right? Like there would be for Triple H or, Stephanie. But like, I mean, that speaks volumes. Just for me saying, that speaks volumes.
By the way, a bit of a side trail here. I heard that when Brock Lesnar left wrestling and went to what was it, UFC? I think he went to, or some kind of mixed martial arts thing. He went in there and he would grab the mic and start talking shit. And backstage, they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Generating heat." And they're like, "No, you don't do that here."
Albeit, funny enough, that's what UFC does now because they realize it. Boxing too. They realized if you talk shit and all this and stuff, it gets where people are really interested in the story, right?
The drama.
If you create fake drama, people love it. Get really invested in it because they want to see you knock out the other fucker that they don't like. It's literally WWE's playbook.
Yeah, they're gonna come out, grab the microphone, and shout,
"I hope you choke on a motherfucking cheese stick, you nasty, greasy bitch. You look like you drink white Gatorade and smell like nickels. Fuck you."
He's a great wrestler.
Listen, if WWE taught their fucking wrestlers to talk like that in promos, I think that'd get quite a bit of audience back, from all the audience that they've shaved off over the years.
Hey, here's that promo you did. What's this? Oh, that's the extra footage. Oh, let me watch it. No, don't touch that.
Take your clothes off. Take your clothes off. Take your clothes off. Why don't you want to take your clothes off?
Readout's like, what is that? Readout, you watch The Sopranos?
I have yet to watch The Sopranos.
It's a highly out of context clip. Really out of context, but I did it. Anyways, we also had a lot of fucking showcases, which I did not watch the PlayStation 1. I just watched some shit that was from it.
I haven't heard crap from any of these showcases. Then again, I don't really play video games, and why would I play video games? I can't afford to play video games.
Thanks, Nintendo. I blame Nintendo for the wrestling ticket prices too.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo did it first. They raised the prices first.
The Summer Games Fest. I fucking skimmed through that shit. Like I hate fucking Summer Game Fest. I don't want to hear any of their god awful cringy jokes. And I watched all the Xbox One. There's like 10 games maybe that I'm interested in, which was like Silent Hill F. Just because I haven't played a good horror game and it looks kind of interesting. It's like 1960s Japan that it's happening in.
Now, is this Silent Hill actually going to get released?
Yes, it's coming out September this year.
Okay.
Let me pull up a little bit of it.
I watched the movie before I even knew it was a video game.
I remember playing. I think it was the second one I was playing, the original on PlayStation 2.
All I knew about Silent Hill for the first 10 years of my life was, why does everybody compare Centralia, PA to the Silent Hills?
It's a franchise that I know, watched the movies, played some of the games. Can't really tell you much about it because I forgot a lot of it. I was also like fucking, I think 7, 8 years old or some shit.
Oh, God.
All I remember is a scene in a movie where some chick got sawed in half by razor blades up the twat.
Well, the thing is, all the monsters are supposed to actually reflect the player's like deepest regrets and desires and shit. That's why Pyramid Head in the first game, it's like mutilating and raping and shit like that. Some weird psychological shit. It's a good game. You should play it. Fun for the whole family.
What would you think? Pyramid Head versus Sam and Dean Winchester.
Pyramid Head would win because he's an unkillable beast. That's set in a. I think it's supposed to be like a dimension that rolls in. It transports everyone.
It's almost like a shared mindscape or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I played Silent Hill. I could probably look up a fucking video that would explain everything. It's like Warhammer 40k lore. I don't know most of everything.
If I am correct,
find...
they're in a pocket dimension created by it was either the little girl or like the girl's mother. It has something to do with like a local cult where they had this whole ritual thing. It created this pocket dimension after they tried to sacrifice her, did sacrifice her. Now they're all kind of stuck there. That's as much as plot. That was also the video game plot.
Was it?
Yeah, the movie was not too different from the video game. They stuck actually pretty close. Down to actually, because I know it's not like the best video game movie, but as a horror movie in general, all right. One thing they did that was pretty cool is they actually had a series of outfits chosen for the main actress to wear that were like slightly more raggedy than the last, so that way it could actually sort of show her own external transition to the world around her. Well, she has an internal one along the way. I looked into that way back in the day just to find out what it was about because I was curious. And it really just boils down to sacrifice a girl to a cult's interdimensional universe thing. It's very simple, really.
Yeah, funny enough, that is video game logic, by the way. If you remember in like 2010 and like 2014, a lot of video games love having the main character. It started with Batman Arkham, actually, if you remember this, where throughout the game, your armor and cape and all that shit is getting torn more throughout the entire story. And like there was a solid like 3-4 years where every game was doing that for a while, like linear games.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I kind of miss it a little bit.
But this game's going to have it, looks like.
Yeah, we'll see what's up with this one because
I'm intrigued by it. I want to see more gameplay, but I might actually get this one.
I think they're going to pull a lot from The Grudge because like there's a lot of grievance behind the first one. It's like a lot of grievance behind what's going on, people wrongfully hurt and whatnot. I think that's where they're going to pull a lot from here. It has that sort of overlap.
Well, I'm interested. Like I said, the 1960s Japan. I like that.
Okay.
I think that's going to be interesting.
Japan is really, something we don't explore too much for horror and video games here in the West.
I wonder why is it that older Japanese school systems have uniforms that look so much like sailors?
I don't know.
I'm really like sailors. I don't know.
Some sort of history behind it.
I'm sure there is with the design. It also could be because sailors' outfits are meant to be designed to be comfortable and utility. So I'm assuming that probably goes into it.
They definitely seem to have a naval-like theme going on.
But keep in mind, that's what the girls' outfits. Actually, this is more like most of the men's design.
Yeah.
Is the underneath white shirt with a over jacket thing. Thin jacket. Yeah, you're playing this chick. You're playing like a Japanese teen chick. That's who the main character this one. Like I said, 1960 Japan. That's got me interested. The designs remind me of course, the marionettes from, was it Silent Hill 2 that had that one as the enemies?
Yeah.
So I'm expecting there's going to be a mission. There has to be a mission where you turn around, these fuckers start running towards you like in that game.
It looks interesting.
Which
I'll wait for the reviews. I'll wait for the reviews, a year, and the sale.
Yeah. I don't care if buying the game on launch. I do wonder if it's going to be, they're going to pull a lot from, less of the marionette and mannequins from us, but more of the, what are the dolls called? It's the painted dolls that they have. It's like an entire hobby industry or whatever.
Oh, the porcelain dolls?
Yeah. They have a specific name.
I think it's not porcelain dolls.
No. They have like I forgot what they're called. Where's Geno? Where's our resident fucking weeb at?
Do we not have a weeb here with Readout? He's not our weeb.
Not that level of weeb, unfortunately, or fortunately.
Steven, you over there? What's your weeb experience?
What's your weeb rating?
This is nice though. Like it looks good. I might just watch someone else play it. To be honest, if it's gonna be a story-based game.
I'm fine with it. I haven't played a good horror game in a while. Callisto Protocol was a fucking nightmare and like disappointment.
I also like how they are pulling off the Japanese uniform without making it risque, because that's usually the default.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're really going for anything degenerate.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I like, because that may be a first in video game.
Well, I mean, that would gotta be a tone clash with what they're going in that game.
Yeah.
Like if they had it, you know. What was the name of that vampire game? Dawnwalkers or something.
There will be mods.
Oh dear Lord.
Oh, and then Asmongold. Actually, funny enough, Asmongold is in this game, and I'm actually interested. I think sometime into this month or next month, the developers are going to do like a gameplay thing, show it off more.
Oh, you say he's in it? Is it like his voice or him?
No. You see the dude on the thumbnail?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
People are joking that's Asmongold. It's not actually Asmongold, but it does look like him.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
I thought that was interesting.
Fucking ads.
Oh wow.
Go ahead and play this.
I do not need that slop anywhere near me. No.
Yes, you will watch Minecraft ads.
Something tells me Jack Black suffers from depression.
In Minecraft.
Nah, real life. In Minecraft's where the depression doesn't exist.
So, to give a little bit of context, the team that's working on this game, they are former Witcher 3 devs.
Oh yeah.
And the game director for Witcher 3 is leading this game. And this game looks interesting. It does look like it needs quite a bit more work because, like, the frame rate was like stuttering in some scenes.
Oh boy.
Is it playing well on StreamYards or is it buffering?
So far, so good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay. Just making sure. If it does, let me know.
Monsters have always been here, watching from the shadows.
But this game looks interesting. I love vampires.
They came out into the light.
And like some in this trailer, you can see them like you can walk up inside the buildings and shit.
Instead.
Are you a vampire or vampire?
Come to kill us.
You in this game, you're playing a vampire, like a half-breed, I guess.
They came to rule.
It's always a half-breed. Can't just be
well, I mean, they wanted to give you a lore reason why you can walk in stuff.
Not me, though. They tried to change me into one of them.
He's only quarter dead.
Became something else.
That's
instead.
right.
Their worst nightmare.
all of their strengths, none of the weaknesses.
A Dawnwalker.
Oh gosh.
What?
Trapped between the two
You know,
worlds.
Blade's called Daywalker.
Dawnwalker. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking of too.
Yeah.
The evil behind
Like
it
I said, you're basically playing
He's
White
Blade.
Blade.
Yeah, he's Blade.
Oh.
That's what he is. Yeah, I saw it. It does kind of look like Asmongold. But that's just because Asmongold, anything.
Well, there's no way in hell they didn't look at Asmongold. It went,
It's possible.
yeah, it does look like the same facial structure. I'm gonna love because you know what? It's gonna be so funny watching the reaction video because the first joke that really got to him was when he did like a shower. I know, very rare for him. And he got out, and people took his hairline and turned it into like Hadoukens and shit. Kamiyamiya's. He's gonna get nonstop shit on for this.
Hey, you fool.
Way in the chat, we got both Christina and Female Blue. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
But I'm looking forward to this game. Not gonna lie, looks interesting. Maybe I don't remember when they said they'll be.
I'd like to
showing
play
off.
a human hunting vampires. That'd be fun.
I don't know.
Just regular dude. You have to rely on your equipment, skills.
I'll be using a lot of garlic.
Then if you add in the cheat code, you become Chuck Norris hunting the vampire. Easiest
That's
game.
why I
ever.
really liked that, because I know you like vampire games. One that went over, like that you missed way back in the day, Billy, you would have loved, was the Nosgoth game, because it was literally a online 4v4 match of humans versus vampires, and the vampires could like slaughter a human one-on-one, so the humans have to like work together and use different types of gear to stay alive, while the vampires kind of stalk them, try to take them out from the corners. But it was really great. That makes me miss that.
It kind of sounds like maybe the studio also worked on the AVP games.
Maybe, because those games were also fun. Those were fun games PvP wise. But what do we got here? What's ill?
So this game, okay, to give a little bit of context on this one, I hope this is, we'll see. So this was a dude who does like animations and stuff, right? And evidently he had like a concept 5 years ago or 5 or 6 years ago called Eel. And I guess it's actually going to be a game. It looks interesting. I say I'll show you.
Oh boy. You don't sound 100% sure there.
Well, I mean, there is a question: is this gameplay, or is these just highly, really well done animations?
That's what I fear, because I've seen that before. As someone that came out was good with animations and like special effects and stuff, made an awesome trailer, but the game was mid.
I know, like this one, like I'd have to actually see like an actual big breakdown of the game, not just the. It looks interesting. It's interesting enough that if this is actually going to be close to what it's actually going to be, with like the gore and shit, it's all for me, brother. It's all good.
Getting Jehovah's Witnesses.
That's right. They need to get out of here.
No, those are leftists at your door. Jehovah's Witnesses are really easily repelled.
Was this a new trailer? I don't think this is the one I watched.
Now, it looks somewhat like gameplay, the way he's moving. It looks like, somebody's in control, but obviously it's all scripted.
Right. I mean, I didn't see this one, so maybe he released one because people were saying that and showing it off.
Yeah.
Because I'll show the other one. This wasn't the one I
It looks
watched.
good. It looks like gameplay, but, is it the game?
Yeah, I'll show
Or is it Watch Dogs?
Yeah, I think he released this because maybe people weren't believing it. Because the one I saw at the Summer's Game Fest, this wasn't it. The other one was like maybe. But then again, if this comes out the game, like I said, it actually looks like this, and
yeah.
I'll show the other one, the one I actually watched that had like the much more of the monsters and shit. Wow, no, like, and the thing is, with the games being really good with gore, it's actually not that absurd to think about because Dead Island 2 actually had like a really good gore system as well.
Yeah, there's a few
Like-
games that tout their gore system.
The Dead Island 2 had like very, very well done. Let me just find the one I actually.
It's zombies and mutant things.
Yeah, that was not the one that was shown. So let me find the actual one. Was this one it? Yeah, this was the one. So I don't know, maybe he showed some of it that it does have a gameplay, but I don't know.
Hey, Raven, would you care to clarify for him?
The what?
Oh yeah, the rooftop Koreans. So in the 80s, there was a big, huge riot, very similar to this. I think. See,
92. I think it's the wake of the Rodney King riots.
was it 92? Okay, I just remember there was lots of stuff going on in LA in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And the Koreans decided that the only way to defend their businesses was to sit up on the roof and with guns and defend their places of business. And I think the first day some people approached and then they learned to stay away.
This is the trailer I watched yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday, whenever the fucking Summer's Game Fest.
Oh, jeez. That looks like fun.
I mean, I love it because I love gore stuff in games.
Have you tried the
How
Killing
big was
Floor
that?
franchise?
Not big enough. Not big enough.
Yeah,
What?
Billy, back it up just a bit. Let's see that giant.
Oh yeah, very Resident Evil, by the way. It's a big giant baby. What
That's
do you
a
expect?
big head they slid into that hallway.
I don't know. Like I think James, we've been so
Wow.
deprived of like gore.
Yeah. Well, that's why I bring up the Killing Floor franchise, because that's the second most important thing to them when developing their Killing Floor games, next to weapon handling's number one. Second is gore. Like I remember when they're making the second game, they're talking about in their development of how they're trying to come up with new technology, so when you shoot them in the face, it doesn't always break apart the same.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 had pretty good gore as well. And they actually had, depending on how the head would explode and shit, and what was left over, depending on where you hit it. So if you hit someone in the top of the cranium and shit, that would go flying off. Like I said, something I love, video games, keep doing more of it. I remember when Call of Duty used to have dismemberment.
Foo, I hope that's a joke, but something tells me it's not.
I do know there's like a temp agency that offers to fill crowds for protesting, and they mass generate protest signs and stuff. And somebody went and interviewed one of the people and asked them what they were there for, and they're like, "I have no clue. So I'm just getting paid."
Yeah. And Christy asked a valid question. You know, if they're offering money per day for tough guys, in quotes, Christy asks, what is required to be a tough guy? Well, a lot of these tough guys on.
Do I just have to stand there menacingly?
Idle,
They don't know
They
what
don't.
tough guy is.
They look. not so tough. I'm sorry. They're kind of doughy. Yuck.
Well, that's horrifying. Kick the baby.
Empty baby.
So if that game comes out and I can't fucking punt the fucking baby
Gurgling.
enemy into barrels, it's gonna be bullshit, man. Bullshit.
Bionic shield masks.
Oh, what the
wow.
fuck was the name of that Dead Space one? Let me try looking up on Max. There was a Dead Space, very much a Dead Space inspired type game, like spiritual successor.
Oh, the one that sucked, Callisto Protocol?
No, not that one. A new one.
Christy, I'm going to say yes to that because non-psychos tend not to take those jobs.
Let's see if I can find it.
I think the funniest thing that I saw was the police parked under a bridge, and then their cars got destroyed. Gee, wonder why.
Yeah. You secure the top of the bridge.
And then from Xbox, the most impressive game was Clockwork Revolution, which are the dudes who made Wasteland 3. Any of y'all ever played that one?
I liked Wasteland 2 better than Wasteland 3, to be honest. I know
I
2
like-
doesn't play the same, but I don't know.
I did like in Wasteland 3, it had the special dialogue if you did something with the, I think, was it sheep or goat?
Oh boy.
If
Yeah,
you-
that's
if you-
Wasteland for you.
Yeah, and if you told the doctor for the rest of the entire game, he'll call you, I think, sheep fucker.
Hello, sheep fucker.
Yeah, which is, it was sheep or chick. I can't remember which. I don't know. It was just hilarious that the devs put it in there. Anyways, they're making this one. It's very much like a BioShock type game looking.
The glittering streets of Avalon sure do shine. Because they
course
sort
it's
their
named
filth down
Avalon.
to us.
This one I'm the least interested. I hope it's not super low.
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
Because it is like I hope it's like just BioShock level. Where there's like maybe a little bit in there, but hopefully it's not too much.
I haven't played
Like
BioShock.
You haven't played any of them?
No, but I heard the story. It sounds good. I like how it wasn't.
Pretty good.
I like how it just wasn't like, oh, we're underwater and it's like old timey. Therefore, it's got to be Lovecraftian. Like, no, it's drugs. It's drugs. Which I thought they actually played it really well.
And drugs.
I was like, this is actually really good. This is great storytelling.
Well, there's also like brainwashing. Obviously, the
Yeah.
first or second one with "Will you kindly?" That was the code word to get you to do whatever, which is actually pretty good and actually plays very well into it being a video game, a linear video game. Why did you do it? Why do you want to do it? I don't know. The main villain was compelling you to. I mean, the thing that gets me with this one is like it's also going to be like an RPG and shit as well. And you're going to have like stats and stuff.
Yeah.
They're playing in the mud.
I'm a little interested.
Life here ain't for
But to be fair, I don't really care for steampunk.
the soft-hearted.
You will be paying me back until you fucking rust.
It ain't for the spineless.
To keep your filthy pickers off me!
And it sure
It's
as hell
Stewie.
it ain't for the decent.
That's a clean sweep for one.
There has been a crime! Justice itself has been affronted! I have been burgled!
Lord Griswick.
Berto!
Yes, I got that part. Do you know anyone who might wish you ill?
Everybody.
We can't arrest and question everyone. Let's see if we can narrow the suspects down a bit.
They were,
Trust your instincts, sir. Tall, yes, sir.
Built rather slim, well, muscular.
Mm-hmm.
Was very quick, agile.
Go on.
With a mustache. No, larger.
I see.
Quite fashionable. That's the fiend who robbed me.
They got my good side this time. Breaking in is the easy part.
Your brandy, sir.
Getting away with it is the real trick.
These candlesticks ain't gold. Worthless and dull, just like you. Nah, I have a customer. How can I help you?
I'd rather talk to you, Errol. Sounds like I'll get a better deal.
You talk to me?
Now, I will explain something that they'll show a little bit, because there's also, like, fucking time shit as well. Like, being, reversing time.
Me first, and him never. Got it?
Uncle's a bit touchy, ain't he, Errol?
Touchy? I say I'm touchy! There. Anything else you'd care to say to Errol? Brains. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it.
It's all sharp edges, empty pockets,
Oh, man.
and blood on the cobbles. Goodbye, Silas.
No, no! I'll hurt you, you fucking meatsack! I'll leave you with a pissing bed of pieces!
You'd either got a gang at your back, or a knife in it.
We're family here. Family takes care of its own.
Yeah, this is where I'm like, oh god, are we gonna have a woke female boss leader? Shit, girl power.
I'll put a
Let's
price
find
on
out.
that, can you?
Them's in charge.
Ugh.
They don't keep order. They keep power.
Take this thing into the crucible and melt it.
They just want us beaten, broken, and too scared to fight back.
I don't want to kill him.
That's why it pays to be clever and well-armed. Let's go and end a few arguments.
Also, isn't Killing Floor 3 coming out this year? Game?
Don't get cocky. They've got a weapon far worse. Time. And if they can rewrite history, they can rewrite us. But look who just found Mummy's keys. Now I can fiddle with time.
But this is about the only fucking game from Xbox that interested. The other one was that didn't interest me because it was Outer Worlds 2, and I fucking hate the first game with passion.
It looks like the quality's there on this one.
Well, this is not. This isn't Outer Worlds. This is Clockwork Revolution, and all it really reminds me.
We'll
of
get there. We'll get to Outer Worlds.
This one interests me. I'm at least I'll pay attention. It has no release date, so who the fuck knows when it come out? I'd have to assume it.
It's like a very weak. I'm interested, but then there's also my gut's giving me a bad feeling about it.
Well, it's got to be somewhat decent if it's got a steampunk punk style to it, and Billy Bob's still paying attention.
I'm kind of interested, but if this is Xbox only, well, I guess not.
Well, it's not Xbox only. You can play it on PC and PlayStation and all that.
Oh, okay.
Xbox is no longer a fucking no longer in the console market. Xbox has given up. They're just porting.
No, they're in the more in the streaming market of video games now.
Well, they're in the market of they just put everything. Every game is now on PlayStation.
We can change the world as we know it. One choice at a time.
The only reason I'm kind of interested is because it does look like BioShock.
Change the future.
And I know people.
I'm interested what they do at the time.
How's that mechanic going to work?
So the reason I was bringing it up, you know, in the dialogue it showed earlier in the trailer where he fucking hits the dude with the gold statue. I think it's going to be a kind of a cop-out mechanic where you just either have to use it to rewind time to find information and shit.
Is this going to be a go the way of like the tears on Bioshock Infinite?
I think it's going to go like Life is Strange, actually.
Oh.
Where maybe choice isn't as permanent and you can just retcon it constantly. I don't know. I hope it's not that way. Because if you're going to give me an
If you're going
RPG...
to do that, then just name the game Retcon.
Yeah. That's what it's reminding
me of. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
The hunters don't like it when the rabbits got the gun.
Cool, man. But, I mean, that's about the only reason. Like I said, I'll look out for it.
Hello, fellow kids.
But then again, it's going to be on Game Pass, so it's not like I'm fucking losing money. I can play it.
Hey, fellow teacher.
How's everybody doing?
Doing okay. Doing okay. Watching Dragon Ball Super Season 3. I skipped Season 2. And it's just as bad as Season 1. There you go.
I'm gonna wait for Otter to show up when I start trashing on Outer Worlds 2. I watched the gameplay direct all yesterday. Watched the whole Xbox shit. There's one moment in the direct that gave me PTSD from the first game, and was actually the quest that caused me to quit the first game. Huh?
I was looking forward to the first game, and then they decided to have it only on the Epic Store or something, and that was at the time that the Epic Store was getting trashed for all kinds of what was it? All kinds of like digging for information in your computer and stuff.
I'm trying to remember if they had that. I don't remember if they did or not.
So I was like, well, okay, I'll wait until it comes out on Steam and it's on sale. And by the time that happened, well, everybody had already said it's boring.
Oh, that was another thing at the. I think it was this Games Fest. I think the developers for fucking Yakuza, they like showed off like it's 1943 Japan, and you're playing like a detective.
Uh,
what was the name of that fucking game? It looked great. I'm not gonna lie. I was interested. I just really want like a sequel to LA Noire. I'm not gonna lie.
You're a detective in 1943 Japan.
Yes. And if I remember correctly, it's the developers there are new.
You're a Nazi lover.
Yes. I don't really understand where you are. What's the problem, guys?
Well, you know, the 40s.
Talking with you. It is going to be interesting because technically it's still during World War II.
Yeah, see, that's the part that gets me because, see, a lot of people really downplay the Japanese role in World War II, and they were quite savage, very savage, especially with Unit, 731, where they did a lot of really messed up biological experiments and no one survived. Yeah, no thanks. I'll pass on this.
Hey, if it wasn't for those experiments, we wouldn't have Akira today, you know? That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know, what's an atrocity here or there as long as you get a good magazine?
Nah, of course I'm just kidding.
For the love of God,
I know. That's often what I hear with some of these freaking protests over there in LA when you see them burning down cars like, oh, but, you know, if this person wasn't trying to do this, or they weren't trying to enforce the laws, they wouldn't be out there doing this. Like, you're just coming up with excuses, asshat.
Stranger Than Heaven, that's the name of it.
Of course it is. Read out.
Yes.
Tell us something historic or weeby.
My brain's too fried. It's Monday.
For either of them?
James, you need to ask him about wrestling.
Not to put you on the spot.
Or furniture, maybe?
I was really put on the spot.
How's the furniture life treating you?
How's the furniture life treating me? It's hurting my back.
Yeah.
But it finances the channel very decently.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Is it a full-time job over there moving furniture for you?
It's one of them full-time, part-time situations. Everybody's too skittish to actually give a full-time position. But
I know that.
Broken.
Were they like get you as close to like full-time as possible without actually?
I'll just say right now, the hours I currently work are far better than my previous job, and allows me to focus more on doing other things I like doing on my free time.
Nice.
And I'm still walking home with more money in the bank than a year ago.
Nice.
That's good. Hopefully you don't have to spend it on a back doctor.
Oh, well, that's where it's all building to. Let's be honest.
My back. Oh, my back. Back pain is genuinely some of the worst, I swear. I rather have toe pain.
Oh, I could say I went over the weekend to the World War II show over in Reading, Pennsylvania. I didn't get to stay too long. I was only there for about 4 hours. I had to see a lot of cool stuff, but I don't know World War II in micro details like some people do. So it's like, oh, that's a cool tank. That's another cool tank. And if I talk about this and try to do it in any detail in the video, I'm going to get absolutely eviscerated.
That's a T930A.
See, that's why I bring a humble collector with me on all of my trips. So if we do start diving into Great War and World War II content, I have him with me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that's why I bring a tank on all my trips.
We can arrange that.
I'm down.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Let's go cross country in a tank.
I might be coming down to Tennessee this after this September.
I do like the fact that in the UK you can park a tank and people have to accept it. I don't remember what the original thing was that this guy wanted to change, but everybody complained and didn't want him to have it. So he filed paperwork in order for him to set up a tank on his property, and people thought it was like a water tank or something like that. Nope. Full-blown World War II tank. So they had signed off on the paperwork thinking it was like a water tank or something. Instead, he ends up with the tank in his yard.
I got the paperwork. Leave my tank alone.
Look, there's somebody that has a Sherman that just drives it occasionally and you just hear it humming in the background. I've been told about this and I have heard it. I've not actually seen it.
That'd be nice to have a nice tank, you know? Zombies can't penetrate a tank.
I don't know if it's actually a World War II period Sherman or if it's one like the post-war like greater Shermans.
Yeah. I have a tank full of gas.
I do too. I have one of those attached to my vehicle.
Actually, I lied. It's not full of gas.
I'll tell you, if they would just make a nice commercial tank, just a bit more room, be driven by one person, maybe a little side driver, get some back cameras on it, the commercial tank business could really take off.
The commercial tank business.
Yeah. Being a little bit smaller for the roads, tight.
Dude, I would only buy a tank, to be honest. I'd feel way safer on the road with a tank.
Exactly.
Everybody else wouldn't, but I would.
Would drive a tank across America. That sounds like a buddy road trip movie. Just
but they'd have to make them a little bit bigger because they're like, from what I hear, it's pretty uncomfortable inside a tank. Just
we'll throw a seat cushion in there for you.
No, you need at least room enough for a couch. For a couch tank.
Oh, I don't think they're that big on the inside, man.
And a Game Boy.
That's why the commercial tanks are not made for combat. They're made for commercial use.
If it's not made for combat, it's not a tank.
Yes, it is. There are plenty of tanks that operate.
Well, I mean, you can get a tank. You can buy a tank in America. You know this, Freddy, right?
You can, yeah, I know. You know the guys who created Ninja Turtles, right? There's two guys, right? An older guy and a younger guy.
Eastman and Laird.
Yeah, so I forget which is which, but the younger kid, he was doing like what do you call it, paintball on the weekends with his friends. And when he got his first million from Ninja Turtles, he surprised his buddies by buying a tank and showing up to his paintball event with the real fucking tank. Excuse me.
It would only be better if that tank could actually fire big, giant-sized paintballs.
Or
In
paintball
canon, it does.
I mean, it probably can, but it would actually probably like lob someone's head off when they hit them.
So, Wrangler, I gave Omer the StreamYard link, so he might pop on if he's.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We'll see.
Oh yeah, in other news, also the King of Hill actor fucking got shot and killed at a restaurant.
Yes, that's the second one.
Wait, what? You're not talking about the Indian?
No, the Indian.
Oh, the Indian. Okay.
He's the second one.
The second one? Which one was the first?
The Dale actor who played Dale. He's dead too.
Yep.
He also played. He also played Khan. So Khan's dead too.
Oh, that was a while back.
Did he die?
Okay.
Yeah, it was a while back.
Had he died, there was like a shooting and shit, and he got hit in a restaurant.
John Redcorn.
Oh gosh,
damn.
That was John Redcorn.
That's dangerous. That sounds dangerous, man. They should outlaw restaurants.
Yep.
Yeah, just
Guns
one
don't
life.
kill people, restaurants do. It's the truth.
You ever see that meme? It was Pennywise sitting there looking all nasty and Ronald McDonald shouting at him, "I've killed more people than you."
You all right, Cole?
He says, "Supersize me, bitch." Yep, that happened.
But you guys are making me think of that Family Guy episode where Peter Griffin went to buy a mega car and instead came home with a tank.
Living the dream.
He shot Cleveland's house and Cleveland was sliding out in the bathtub again.
I know you can definitely own a minigun here in the States. Though it's not the best thing if you want.
Probably not in New Jersey, though.
You can't buy a grenade, but you can buy a kit to put the grenade together.
That's kind of a good compromise. A DIY, hope you don't blow yourself up in the process.
Yeah. Well, that way, if you're going to have a grenade, at least you know how it works. You had to build
I know
it.
we're overwhelming our Canadian over here.
Listen, I grew up on a military base, Billy Bob.
You can buy black powder guns, and they're not considered guns here in the States.
I lived on Petawawa base. They had tanks on the base. It was a ground base. I mean, it still is,
but they're Canadian tanks.
Here, this Summer of Love crap, they're planning to protest in cities all across America. I'm right next to a city. Maybe I should get myself a couple cannons.
It's not about any single location with these people. I was watching a damn stream the other day, and you could hear them on the back end, like somebody like, "So where are you from?" I was like, "Oh, I'm from Florida. I'm from Georgia. Oh, I'm a local." Like, "Oh, 2 out of 3, huh?" Like 1 out of 3 of them's from there.
But I'll get a couple cannons for yard decorations. Fully functional, of course.
They seem to be learning a lot of useful life lessons. Like I saw one that was pouring gasoline all over the engine of a car, and guess what bozo number 2 did?
Raven, the gas isn't supposed to go over the engine. It's supposed to go into the tank. So then, when you turn the ignition on,
Oh, here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Guys.
Okay.
Hello.
How you doing? I mean, I know how you doing. I just saw you 2 minutes ago.
How you doing?
I've been hanging in New York too long.
what was that Bud Light commercial from years ago? How you doing? And everyone's like, supposed to be, what's up?
Yeah, that's the Budweiser.
What's up? Yeah. Orale, what's up? What's happening, guys?
Oh, Lord Otter.
Oh, good. Now we can suffer together.
Look, you're
Otter
just in
is
time
here.
for me to shit on Outer Worlds 2.
Hi, guys. I think it's about time I left.
No. You're staying here.
Lock the
And watching
door.
the death of Obsidian up close.
No one's leaving until we're done.
This moment gave me PTSD from the first game because there was a quest that wanted me to get into a fucking room, and I had none of the skills for any build to get into the fucking room, and it was uncompletable, and it was the game what made me quit the fucking game.
I'm getting PTSD already.
Conversations in areas of
Yeah, they're like, oh, you can rip it open with terrain.
which are the part of the world
You can
where
use
players can use their
engineering.
specific skills, perks, and backgrounds to solve
And
problems.
all I'm thinking
Yeah,
of,
this is the
fuck,
game
no.
everybody wanted more of.
Dude, if I remember correctly, I need to look up the actual quest.
Freaking hell.
I couldn't pickpocket. I couldn't persuade this fucker to get the shit, and I couldn't open the door with engineering. I couldn't straight open the door. There was
Hail,
no way
Christina.
to complete this quest.
Also, why is he banging his hammer right there where there's no point
I
in
know.
him
I was like, what
banging it?
the point was that?
Oh, and it gets
He just
worse.
likes to hit stuff.
Oh, that's how it works.
They
It's
describe
vibranium. It
they
vibrates
describe the
until
three
it falls apart.
the three factions
It has
in this
3
game.
speeds, the door.
They describe the 3 factions in this game, and they're like, it's supposed to be, because they're ripping off the riffs from fucking Dragon Age Inquisition. Where these random
Okay.
riffs open up and they're causing the world to be unstable.
We haven't, because we've never seen that in fantasy before. Also, Dragon Age Inquisition is by no means the first game to do that. Technically, Orcs Must Die did that before Dragon Age did. This is not a new concept for fantasy. Why are they doing this? Like,
Don't know. But they describe the 3 factions. Now, I'm going to take a shot in the dark and explain exactly which faction the game's going to want you to play as. So you have fascist authoritarian government,
of course.
right?
Of course.
Shady evil corporation, or scientist cultist religion, but they're about solving the equation, man. And they don't want to harm or exploit anybody.
Let me guess. The
What is
totally
the
not
equation?
fascist faction. They're going to be making Trump allegories. I'm seeing it from orbit here.
I just know they
Actually, not just the fascists, but also the corporation. They both will.
Well, of course, because these are top tier writers we're talking about because they know subtlety.
But when they describe the faction, the fucking science religious one, whatever, they're like, oh, they're not bad. They just want to solve the equation, guys. They don't want to exploit anyone. I'm like, why wouldn't you make all factions good in some way and evil in others? That's how most games do it. Even fucking the one fucking I'll show you.
This is why I love Fallout, by the way, because they make every
lot of
faction
investment
just a
into
little bit
skills and
evil.
traits that impact things like
Oh my god, where's that dude? This dude.
Fallout's pretty balanced.
This dude wouldn't
really
shut
like
the fuck up about Fallout New Vegas. He's like, in Fallout New Vegas, we could do that. In
I like
Fallout
them
New
already.
Vegas.
You're not
You know what?
Fallout
In
New
Fallout
Vegas.
New Vegas, each faction had a good and a bad connotation to them.
You also want to know something about Fallout New Vegas? Chris Avallone wrote it. Yeah, who doesn't work at Obsidian anymore? Yeah, remind me about that, Obsidian.
I mean, it's the same with all AAA games. Like, the people who invented the good games are all gone and started new small studios to have fun making cool games.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. No.
speaking of which, do you want a game that actually does have really good writing that does know subtlety and like layers of symbolism
I
and
know where this is
thematic
going.
subtlety?
I know where this is going.
Yeah, it's called Claire Obscure. Play that game instead. It's much, much better.
They pay you, don't they, Otter?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a Sandfall interactive shill at this point.
Why you joined me with the record? There could have been a lot of different reasons.
Oh, and they're like explaining your position, like a generic faction. Kind of sounds like the gay ass.
I'm noticing a lot of telling and not a lot of showing.
Well, they show stuff. They won't show the character creator because I'm assuming it's just as dog shit as the first game.
Get a lot of really cool options throughout the game as well. Of course, we brought back dumb, so players love the dumb option.
I'm so glad we're on this part, Otter. Now, Otter, when you think of low intelligence dialogue,
yes,
you think of like orcs and stuff like it was in Fallout 2, right?
Yes.
Watch this.
Uh-oh.
Tell me, do you believe in signs?
That's the dumb option?
Yes. I saw that and I
That's
went,
like the witty... that's like the MCU option. That's not the dumb option. Or, well, maybe I repeat myself. But... that's not the dumb option. That's not the dumb dialogue option.
tell me, do you believe in signs? The dumb option is, you mean the ones that say trespassing and no entry? Sure do.
You want to know what I think of when I think of dumb dialogue in an RPG? Are you a man of war or peace? The natural response is pizza. That is a dialogue option in Fallout New Vegas. You can say war, peace, or if your dialogue, if your intelligence is low enough, you can reply with pizza.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Suffice it to say, they literally don't want to offend anybody, so they put like something that's not really what you would think as like your character's a retard.
Also, what is that character design for this guy? I get that he's supposed to be like a magician and everything, but it's what
is he a magician?
I'm flabbergasted.
That's too
I have no clue what he is.
I think he's the effing Onceler.
I don't know. I fucking hate this game's art.
Looks like the Mad Hatter after having licked one too many chodes.
I'm with Christina. He's the guy from Wizard of Oz. He's Oz the Great and Powerful.
Fallout has some real good dumb dialogue, but you're like retarded. Basically, you don't even put two words together in a sentence almost.
You know what? And it's so sad because they don't want to offend anybody. You won't have the Fallout 2 one where when you infiltrate the Enclave base and you start talking to the CEO.
Let me see if I can bring up some of Fallout's dumb dialogue.
I think it goes back to Fallout 1, if I'm not mistaken.
It goes back to Fallout 1, but it's greatly expanded into.
Oh, I see.
All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Got to take care of my dog, take it for a walk. Take it easy.
See you later.
Have a good one, James. God bless, man.
So, in Fallout 2, when you sneak into the base, the Enclave, and you don't have your armor on, and the CEO comes over and he's like, "Why aren't you wearing your certified armor?" Right? Your character will start talking like a retard, and then the CEO go, "Oh, I know what you are."
Hey Wrangler, can you pull up my screen for a second? I have a bit of dumb dialogue just for direct comparison.
Working on it. Hang on. Oh, I see why. Hang on. And boom.
There it is. All right. So hopefully the audio will work for this. I want to show you guys just what dumb dialogue in Fallout can be.
Oh, you again. What want now? Huh? What?
That's the whole conversation, by the way. The dialogue sequence goes like this. Huh, what, mom.
You got to pull up the CEO one.
Let me see
where
if I
he's
can
literally
find
like,
it.
oh, he basically knows that you're retarded, and he has a cousin who's retarded, so he talks to you very slow. So you can understand.
Let me see if I can find it. They've got like whole compilations here. You're gonna have to find that one, Billy. I don't remember where that one is.
We'll show it in a bit. We'll show
Yeah.
it later.
I'll have to look.
Foo, I don't know if I'm allowed to say twat waffle on YouTube. What do you think? Is twat waffle okay? Twat waffle, anybody? Can I say that?
Contempt for boundaries. I could
That sounds way too offensive, Wrangler.
And you get like lots.
Oh, and by the way, just let you know, this game is $80.
Of
really
course.
cool, fun conversation options in the game, but we
Canadian,
take that
right?
even further. And again, there's lots of elements in the game where you can be dumb. And
I
use
can
that
think
for
of
something.
3
Could be
games right
something
now
as
that
simple
are
as
much
banging
more
on a
worth your time and are worth less.
Thanks, Nintendo.
The games I play the most
core
are
and
the
essence
ones
of-
I paid for the less. Like
You want to know?
ones I got.
You want to know what the prevailing argument with Mario Kart World is right now? It's a great game, but not $80 great.
Yeah.
Therefore,
From
we
what I know,
can't recommend it.
It's barely even different from the last one.
No, it's very different than the last one, but a lot of cases it's slightly worse than the last one.
Really?
Yeah, because every cart has to connect. People have been talking about this quite a bit. It's like a lot of the actual races you have, they have intermission courses that go from one course to the next.
Right.
That's where you have to start. Apparently, that's a lot of your actual racing time is just on those intermission courses.
The point-to-point, they make the point-to-point the race part of the race itself.
Yeah, that's part of the Grand Prix.
You know what it sounds like to me, actually?
What's that?
In Forza Horizon, you had the tour races. It's not really a race, but like you're just going from one point to a very long point in the map.
Yeah.
That was in Forza.
It's a lot like
Really
that.
like-
Like here's the big part of the catharsis with Mario Kart is going in usually 3 laps, sometimes more, sometimes less, but it's like each time it changes a little bit, but enough to change the whole strategy of the race. This one is just point to point. It's usually a straight line. There are little like bits and pieces here and there to shake it up, but it's a very different style. I'm done, by the way, Wrangler.
Move faster throughout the game. But the problem is, anytime you stand up, your knees are going to make a loud popping noise that makes it so that, well, everyone around you is going to hear you.
You kidding?
Oh, so a little bit of context.
What are you playing, an 80-year-old man?
So, a little bit of context. So in the first game, you could pick negative traits to your character, and this one they're bringing that back, and that's the ones they wanted to show you is if you pick the bad knees, when you move faster in stealth, but when you get up, it pops. Of course, I don't expect really good stealth in this game at all.
Dude,
so-
that's too real, man. I want escapism in my games.
This is really interesting because what it does is when you steal something, you can actually sell it for more bits than normal, and like that sounds really great. The drawback is sometimes when you're looking at
Oh, and as far as I know, Otter, it's still the same type of small open world or semi-open world.
Oh, I think like my theory is they started this trend whenever they were working on Pillars of Eternity, where you have like it's not really so much an open world as it is kind of like zones, which in a CRPG it makes sense, you know. But for a 3D game like this, I'm like, I kind of understand it, but does it really work that well? Kind of depends.
From what I
Sometimes
remember,
yes,
the first
sometimes
game,
not.
the maps are way too small. Like, I'm fine with the semi-open world.
Like,
type
I
stuff.
think Dragon Age Origins does that formula well, but Dragon Age Origins has a ton of stuff to find that's really fun.
things in the world that are owned by somebody else, you'll automatically steal them. So you have to be very careful about how you use them.
One of our more wacky perks is the Sun Gazer Flaw, and it just gives everyone cataracts while playing their game. So everything becomes like light shafts and blooms and hazes and makes...
I want to, 100% bet that's probably part of the anti-piracy thing that plays effect.
What do you mean?
So a lot of games have anti-piracy. So if you get the game illegally, usually some of the devs will put in shit to make the game unplayable.
It's the game pretty unplayable if you happen to choose that perk.
If you happen to be the type of player that habitually reloads your weapons like I do, well, you'll be offered the flaw of over-prepared. Now, you'll get larger magazine sizes on all of your weapons, but if you ever fully empty your magazine, you're going to take a debuff for a while. While we support options like being a gunslinger who wants to key into destructive...
By the way, the guns look ugly as fuck. They're just as bad as Fallout 4's designs.
I didn't even like Fallout 4's guns all that much.
Yeah, they're ugly as fucking Fallout 4.
Weapons or roads.
They must have hired the dude who designed them from Fallout 4 and Starfield.
Have a good one, Blue.
Strike
Thanks
their
for
enemies
hanging.
Before they know what hit them, we also allow for a lot of fun and experimental builds. You can be a mad scientist who utilize...
Oh yeah, and then they want to go through all the different ways you can get across this bridge.
Ways. So you may solve it by, speech options. You may talk to them and maybe have to go do a quest for them and really kind of prove that you're a friend of the Protectorate to get by.
I may have need of your help, stranger, if you are ready to seize an opportunity to show fealty to the Protectorate.
You could go guns blazing and you could just take everyone out inside the POI, lower the bridge itself, and kind of get across.
I'm waiting for the giant slingshot option.
God, look how ugly that gun looks.
It's just really blocky looking.
Too many polygons for anything interesting.
I bet you this is going to be the only time in the game where there's actually different approaches. That's when they're showing it off so much in this game.
Lower the bridge and actually
That's what I liked
sneak in
about
under
Fallout.
the bridge
You
to
could
get
do
over
a
to the other
stealth
side.
playthrough, you could do a violent playthrough, and you could also do a speech playthrough.
Cut out Frederick.
Did I cut out?
Yep.
A little bit on the end there when you were saying the speech playthrough.
Yeah. So I was just saying Fallout is interesting because you could win through all three ways: speech, stealth, or shooting.
Now I know Obsidian is using that as a base for this game, but how much they actually stick to that formula is something to be seen.
How'd you do with that new action game? I talked my way through it.
We already saw the quality of the dumb dialogue.
That's honestly my real question is, what's the quality of the writing like? Because I know that was a big thing that a lot of people criticized the first game for, is like, I remember hearing a lot of people saying they like the game, but then you actually break down some of the world building, some of the actual writing for your companions and the quests. It doesn't make sense, and it actually does harm the final game.
I expect it's going to be worse. I expect whatever writers were on Avowed were probably on this game. Just saying,
Also, Avowed is not even in the same league as like the first Pillars of Eternity. Like, I think we should compare the writing between the two. Like, I have my issues with the first Pillars, but I'm like, the writing is so much better. So much better.
That's what I was playing for background music a little bit ago.
Well, that's because Chris Avallone wrote the first one.
It's Chris Avallone making a phone book fantasy for the game. Like, that's basically what the game is, and it works for the most part.
Funny enough, I think actually Pillars of Eternity 2 would be the better comparison.
Chris Avallone didn't really write for Pillars of Eternity 2.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it would be the better comparison.
Yeah, true. I don't like that game nearly as much, and the writing is a big part of that.
To show, like, what happened to even the dudes who wrote that one. That one wasn't as terrible as Avowed.
It was a step down in writing, but it wasn't bad.
There's even a really kind of messed up way, right? Which is players can actually sacrifice one of their companions. The companion who they just found is part of.
No one cares about
We're no
companions.
different than the breeze if we start tossing our own to the
Oh,
rest.
yeah, they only got like 6 companions. They're all boring.
Of course.
Use them up like
They're gonna follow someone who can't see the wrong in it.
Look at this
I must admit,
character
I'm
design,
surprised we
though.
could come
It's
to an
like it's just millennial as fuck.
Oh, they get worse.
Kind of messed up way, right? Which is players can actually sacrifice
Well,
one of
that's
their
good
companions.
news.
The companion who they just found is part of.
It gets worse than that, Otter.
This is a very millennial character design of like it's just a step or two away from being the new Saints Row.
Oh, here's where they go through all the fucking companions. Ah, pretty motherfucker. Oh, YouTube AIDS. YouTube AIDS.
They finally adapted Mein Kampf into a movie.
Yeah.
They said it was funded by Canada, Frederick.
Yeah, that checks out.
How we're going deeper and more complex this time around. They're integrated into the game's storyline much more than we did on the first Outer Worlds, and like with everything else in the game, they have a lot more reactivity. There are 6 companions in the Outer Worlds too.
Which means they're gonna get
As
on your
usual,
nerves
each
10
has their own
times as
quest lines, but this time they are also connected to a different faction and have character arcs that the player can affect through their choices. Your first companion is Niles. He's another Earth Directorate agent like you, and he's looking for your help to decide whether he wants to become an even better agent or to turn his back on the Earth Directorate completely. There's also a somewhat cute automech support drone that is basically Niles' helper.
Look how fucking disgusting. That's not even cute.
Yeah, you're right. That dude's design doesn't look like any fun. But this does.
Her name is Val. Marisol's part of the Order of the Ascendant, and she's an aging but still deadly assassin. That's right, she's a deadly mathematician who may or may not have some unfinished business to attend to with the player's help.
Wait, did he say a deadly mathematician?
What was the joke?
A deadly mathematician.
It was so funny I didn't even laugh.
Well, that's because you didn't do the math.
Oh, I see.
You didn't calculate the.
Now just take the negative square root of how many fucks I give.
Zero.
There's also a cultist named Azza who is part of a sub-faction.
Look at the sad titties on that.
Algebra.
Oh,
those
Billy,
titties.
clearly you're not appreciating the surgery scars.
Is that Bruce Jenner?
That worships the rifts, and in her case, violence in general. You can choose to either turn her away from overt violence or support her chaotic and dangerous tendencies. At one time, Auntie's Choice had a program to graft soldiers with animal parts to make
that
them
looks-
more formidable.
Yeah.
So, Frederick, go ahead. Tell us about the.
Orange and green.
Tell us about the design on this character.
Okay, so first of all, I have a hard time figuring out the gender of this character. Looks like a female face with male hands and arms.
You want to know, this reminds me of something that I just heard Asmongold say. If you look at a character and you can't immediately tell what gender they are, you've got something deeply wrong with you as a designer.
Yeah,
whenever
your
you
game's
create a
gonna
character.
fail. Yeah. And what's with
Fortunately,
that
it didn't quite
costume,
work
dude?
most
That
of
looks
them.
like a costume from a kid's show.
It's the whole this whole Outer Worlds art style. It's not good.
We're now dead. There's a combat.
There you go. You can see her. Oh.
Oh, God.
Whoa.
Look at her face.
What's with the? Don't do drugs, kids.
Well, the whole point is supposed to be, I don't know, generic, sad, edgy loner story. She needs a new arm skin.
Medic who survived.
I think
however,
they're
named
going to
Annette,
send the sales
and
for
she
this
wants the
game
player to
to
help her fix her
oblivion.
graft, among other things. Finally, there's Tristan. He's a protected arbiter who is judge, jury, and executioner all rolled into one heavily armored package. It is your choice to either help him judge wrongdoers or show him what true justice looks like.
we definitely have reactivity in the game based on how you've been treating your companions. I won't reveal the end of the game, but let's say if you have not been treating them well, you will find out at the end of the game what that means.
Companion. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's like an entire skit with this. I don't even know who this dude is. It's kind of like unfunny jokes he does throughout the whole fucking thing.
That threat was kind of worrisome.
Which shifts the visuals to be more reminiscent of a World War I like setting.
Homer Glitch is making me hungry right now.
That evolution is seen across all aspects of the game, starting with the factions. How do you militarize everything, including extreme capitalists or math-crazed scientists? In a World War I setting, war comes with propaganda. The sovereign uses it to maintain control.
Sorry, I got some food.
Uses it to help their bottom
You gotta
line.
fight for the
Good
freedom
line.
fighters who fight capitalism.
Oh yeah. Here, let me go back to that. He explains the factions, I think.
Everything.
Oh, it's
including
gone.
extreme capitalists or math-crazed scientists.
It was too
In a
slow.
World War I setting,
So
war comes with
propaganda, like all the
propaganda.
gender
The sovereign
propaganda we
uses
get
it-
in video games now? That kind
Well,
of
clearly
propaganda?
you're a racist.
Guess what I'm doing after the stream?
Racism?
You know.
Are you
get
going
himself
to
some
your
peanut
Minecraft
butter.
world of Mine Camp?
to maintain control.
So we have a
Anti-choice uses it
local
to help their
version of
bottom line.
Sonic called Stars.
Oh yeah, and the evil capitalists they gave the unique name of anti
Okay.
choice.
So, these companies that are anti-capitalist are also anti-making money, and spoilers, they're not going to be making it.
Let me repeat that again. These fuckers
Anti.
came up with the most generic, on-the-nose name for evil corporation called Anti, as like aunt, choice.
Yep.
So it could say anti-choice, right?
I
guys?
think I would rather watch an episode of Futurama or something. Like
Well,
Futurama has
Futurama's
better
actually
world building.
clever.
Yeah,
That
Futurama has better world building than this.
That reminds me. Every time I see like they announced the second High on Life game for some reason. I just want a Futurama game. Fuck Rick and Morty dog shit.
Futurama's
The actual
better.
good Futurama. Come on.
The Order just wants to show how it exists within the grand plan.
Oh yeah, like I said, evil corporation, fascist, or scientists who just want to solve an equation for the good, and they're not evil at all. Which one do you think the game is really going to hint to you to join?
This doesn't exactly sound like good writing to me.
We want
You
players
know
to
what
feel
I'm
like
saying?
Arcadia is a living, breathing
feels like
place
Prey
scarred by a
type
long-standing
writing.
war. Fairfield,
You don't wanna
one
be
of the first
railroaded?
towns you encounter, was once under protectorate control, but has recently
Is
been
that like the
taken over
Foundation
by
trying to
Anti's choice.
solve the ultimate
They don't just
equation to
occupy
tell the
town,
future?
They rebrand it with their signature style, repainting buildings, posting guards, and adding propaganda-based holograms featuring Anti and
Like I said, it's not even good writing.
the Moon Man.
Oh, Auntie's
Showing the
choice.
towns of
Yeah, Auntie's choice. So it
Man,
sounds like
isn't it so
Auntie's
subtle? You know, such subtle writing.
because they're evil corporations, so they're anti-choice, but they're called anti-choice. Right?
Also, that's clearly totally not supposed to be a dig at anti-abortionists at all. You know, totally not.
Let me guess, is
Falling
this a
after the
game where
base.
you choose body type 1 and body type 2?
Yes.
helps us push immersion for
Need
our
I
players.
ask if you get
They don't
to
even
select
show
your
it in
pronouns?
this. You know it's going to be there.
Priorities in
You
visual
want to
in
know
the
what
world
would
of
be
the Outer
funny
Worlds 2.
is as to reflect the world building in a true authoritarian manner. You cannot select your pronouns. Come on, Obsidian.
join that-
You know you want to.
Well, you know the authoritarian faction, they're going to be like, they're going to allow all the gays and stuff, right? They're going to be very inclusive. Because you can join them, so they have to be inclusive because of the woke mob, right?
Was making sure everything is clear and recognizable from the player standpoint. We want to make sure each faction has a particular look and design. So when the player is running across these vast, different environments and landscapes, they're recognizing the motifs,
the way recoil feels when firing, and how impactful our sound effects really sell the weapon's fantasy, to things like how unique reload animation can add a lot of character to each weapon. We've increased the variety of weapons by including new weapon types, but also through a host of fun and unique weaponry.
God damn, fuck you, fuck you.
Yep, that's unique weaponry, all right.
Yes.
By the way, can you guys still hear me?
It's the weapon of Minecraft, fucking YouTube ads. I'm done. Can't do this no more. I cannot watch that fucking ad. I don't know. Why are you here?
Anyways, have you heard of Expedition 33 or the Oblivion remaster? Anything other than this piece of shit?
Have you heard of Frogger?
Oh, dude, I used to love Frogger.
Have you heard of this hot new game called Mario Brothers?
No. Pitfall, man.
What about Super Metroid?
Yes.
Oh.
Like I said,
you know about
Xbox
Super Metroid?
Oh, yes, I do.
I didn't think that was your kind
Xbox
of
was
game.
hurting this year. So there was no Fable talk. There was none new of the Gears, but I don't really care for Gears.
I like Gears. Not really the writing or anything. I just kind of see it as like junk food, the game. And it's a good type of junk food.
I know they pissed off the Gears fan because you had Gears EDS, the new one. However, when they showed a Gears trailer, it was another remake of Gears 1.
Oh.
It's coming to Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. But I'm like, hold on, did y'all do like a remaster or something?
There's already one on the Game Pass store.
Yeah, well, there's a new one. I mean, at least it's going to have cross-play. I will give it that.
Yeah, so
I do want to play Gears.
On the note of character design, though, we're actually getting to a point in video games where you're starting to see more and more attractive characters again. Then you have this fucking game, and it's like, all right, time to wave the rainbow hair at you. It's like,
Yeah.
oh god.
It's like, how in between can we make them all?
I actually saw a really good video that was talking about the last few games that have been coming out recently and how it's something where it's like the characters appeal both to guys and girls. I'm like, yeah, these idiots aren't talking about that whatsoever. In the name of diversity, everyone has to be ugly.
Yeah. They're weird.
Oh. Before we wrap it, Xbox, they do not have their handheld device. That was put on hold. However, they made a partnership. I'm fixing to say the name of this thing. Xbox, for the love of God, fire whoever comes up with these names. So, it's another company that they partnered with, and they're using like a custom stream of like their Xbox and Windows thing for the handheld, and has like the Xbox buttons and controller and shit sign on it. It is called the ROG Xbox Ally X.
They named it a serial number.
Yes. Whoever
I
fucking
thought it was
named
gonna be
it,
something
love
dumb
God.
like. I thought it was gonna be something dumb like the Porta Box.
Isn't
But
there
that would get
already?
better.
Isn't there already an Ally portable?
Yes, but this is the one they're partnering with. Is
Oh, they're doing a partnership with them. Okay.
So, just to give y'all anything, Xbox was making a handheld. They put that on hold. All the people who are working on that, because of how bad Windows has gotten and how bloated and awful the operating system is, when people were starting to do actual fucking comparisons with Windows and like Steam OS with Linux and shit, right? And they were specifically finding out that so much of the bloat from Windows is actually fucking tanking some performance and shit on games. Well, this rattled Microsoft enough to the point where they're actually trying to deal with it now. And specifically the Windows one for that handheld version that they teamed up with is the fucking stripped down version. It's not going to be the bloatware that
Yeah,
it was.
because funny thing is, games are working better on Linux despite them not being made for Linux. So could you imagine if the studio started optimizing it would be just
Oh, wow.
incredible software improvement, you know?
Yeah.
It rattled Xbox or Microsoft enough that they're actually having to deal with it now and actually fix it, work on it.
Yeah, now that they have no other choice, we've been telling them for like 20 years.
Yep. They got rattled enough with Steam and shit.
Yeah, when they have no other choice, their backs are to the wall. Now it's time to act.
Now, on this handheld device, so you can, supposedly you can, it is a third-party device that has like a third-party, Xbox that they put in, like a Windows and Xbox
Yeah.
stuff in there. And as long as an Xbox game has an Xbox Play Anywhere, you can play it on the device. You can also, it still seems like you can download Steam OS and also have Steam OS playing through it.
Yeah.
And stuff. And any other third party, so any of them you can download and have it.
Oh,
So, I don't know,
Billy.
it's cool.
This was the reason why you were asking me about Final Fantasy 16 just the other day. It's on Game Pass now.
Well, it's not on Game Pass. It's on Xbox. I don't think it came to Game Pass. I was just asking about it because I'm like, maybe one day I'll pick it up.
I heard it was decent. Like, it wasn't bad. I don't know if people like it better than the 7 remake. I think they do. I'm not sure. The writing doesn't look terrible. The 7 remake kind of doesn't look all that great to me.
The remake is coming out on Xbox in this. It says holiday 20, or it says holiday, so that could be December, like 2026.
Yeah. On another note, I've been playing some of the original Breath of Fire recently. That's a pretty fun one. I didn't really want to play a Final Fantasy lately, but just another JRPG.
Yeah.
That one's a fun time.
You know it is on Game Pass, Otter.
What's that?
The original Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
Oh, nice.
Put it on there, so I'm like, I might download it now. Go play it.
Yep. Now you'll know what pain is.
Otter, I still had a taste of that in the original Dragon Age Origin with wizards.
Oh,
I know it's probably worse.
You know nothing, my sweet summer child. What were you about to say, Frederick?
Oh, I was going to say, I'm in my
bullshit.
40s. I wake up in the morning with pain every day.
Listen, I still know Bioware bullshit in games.
That might just be one of their most bullshit games. Talk about a wizard boss fight where they end up casting a charm person spell. It affects all of your party except one party member. So all of them are running in random directions for 5 whole minutes while your one character is just trying to get a solid hit against this guy. That is bullshit.
Sound like fun.
Yeah, 5 minutes sounds like a long time.
Sounds like Bioware. Sounds like Bioware. Not gonna lie. I'm used to it.
They have some real, if you know what you're doing in that game, you can, the idea is Baldur's Gate does not play fair, neither should you.
Yeah, I've seen someone do like a min-maxing video and they were going through it and they're like, I'm wearing this helmet that puts me up to 25 ability score or some shit with this axe that I'll never miss and I can never die. Like, okay.
It is one of those games where I would actually recommend playing on the easy difficulty because the easy difficulty is normal.
Oh no, I'm gonna go in there, no lube, straight on normal difficulty.
Well, God help you.
That's what I did with 9 Souls, and by the time I finally put the controller down on that game, I wish I had brought the lube.
Oh man,
it was rough. Again, not disparaging the game. It's a good game. I just suck at it.
Yeah, I suck at all my games. I'm sort of playing. I have a whole array of games. I play them until I get to a difficult point, and then I switch games. So all my games are now at a hard at a hard point in the game, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna either have to buy new games or get good.
Oh, and the other game that interested me was a game where you're playing a lighthouse.
Huh?
You're playing the
Looks
White
so
House,
stupid.
like the house.
Yeah, you're playing the lighthouse.
Or is it like a simulator game?
Riveting.
No. You're just playing a lighthouse.
Oh, a lighthouse.
Yeah, let me show you.
So you
It's the developers of the Psychonauts game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Here, I'll show you.
interesting.
I mean, that's what all the kids wanted growing up. I mean, we just dreamed of the day that the technology would be there that we could play a lighthouse.
When I was young, I always dreamed of being a lighthouse.
I'm seriously gonna play this. I'm not lying. Like it's gonna be on Game Pass.
I am the lighthouse.
It's so stupid.
I turn on when the night comes. I turn off when the sun rises. I spin.
Alright, let's watch this dog shit trailer for the 18th time because YouTube sucks.
Right?
Don't worry, Audrey. You're gonna love playing Lighthouse.
We just got hailed from the Iron Seas. How you guys doing?
Hey, Iron Seas.
Hail, Iron Seas.
Hail, Iron Seas.
Hail, Iron Seas.
Speaking of Iron Seas, look at how iron these seas are.
Yeah, I'm gonna have fun
What
playing the
the
Lighthouse.
fuck?
You're playing the Lighthouse. I told you, a Lighthouse. Don't question it.
I'm sorry?
What,
Is
your
this
Lighthouse
Tim
is
Burton trying to be light and cheery?
Right. So there's a drug epidemic in the States right now, right?
I'm just going to rename this to Tim Schafer's Floating Castle.
I mean, I told you this. The developers are the dudes who made Psychonauts, which is basically an LSD game.
Yeah, and people love Psychonauts,
like
but
that.
Psychonauts actually has a really cool gameplay loop. This I don't know what to make of it. Interesting?
Feels Tim Burton-y.
I mean, it's unforgettable.
Lighthouse.
Unforgettable. I'll give you that.
But you're right. It really does seem like if Tim Burton did try to be lighthearted and cheerful rather than the cutesy spooky.
Oh, I'm sure the whole story is going to be trying to find your long lost lighthouse wife, right? You know, you find her, she's dead. You got
I'm looking for my housekeeper.
What about all the ships that are going to crash into the land now that you're not there?
I
doing
know,
your
their
job?
fucking problem, not mine.
But it's hilarious that the Iron Seas comes on as we're looking at a game about a lighthouse.
Yep. That was the other interesting game. I was like, you know, and I'll download it and play that.
What was the one game you were showing me, Blood of the Dawnwalker? That one looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, I showed it earlier to them. I said that Asmongold's in it.
Oh, yeah. It actually does look like Asmongold. That's the funny thing. With mildly better hygiene.
I'm interested in it. Like I said, it is made up of Witcher 3 devs and the game director for Witcher 3.
Okay, fair.
And they are going to be showing like a game preview thing. Like they're doing like a 45-minute with 15 minutes of it.
What little of the game I saw, it did look very much like Witcher 3. The setting looked a bit more inspired, though.
It sounded like The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Well, I think the game director for The Witcher 3 was actually pretty good. Like, as much as I don't like I can't really stand the combat in Witcher 3 anymore. In terms of, like, story and quest design and shit, pretty good. So, got some high expectations.
I'm wondering how their game directors might have cycled around. Like, who worked on the first 1 to 2 Witcher games? Is it the same guy, like, who headed up development, or was it someone different?
Look, let me see if I can find out.
Because their whole gameplay philosophy has changed a lot over the last decade and a half.
Witcher 1 game director. Oh my god. Jaceek. Barazinski.
All right.
Let me look up Witcher 2. I'm assuming Witcher 2 and 3 are probably the same dude.
Probably. Wouldn't surprise me.
Adam Bawb Whiskey. God, these fucking Polish names. Oh my god, this name! So no, they're all three different game directors.
So
The
the
third one
difficulty
is
on pronouncing the games in this and the names in this game is like on hardcore.
So the director of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is Conrad. I'm just gonna show this name.
Is that bad, huh?
They
Are there a lot of consonants together where there should be vowels?
Yeah, and ski at the end, of course.
Well, they love skiing over there.
Thomas
Thomas Skiewicz?
Dude, it literally gets worse and worse.
Adam Badowski.
Adam Badowski. That's simple enough.
Badowski, yeah.
Jacek Brzezinski.
I think it's just Jacek Brzezinski.
Yeah, Brzezinski's pretty common name.
I should just name a character in one of my books.
Thomas Kiewicz.
Ben Konstantinsky.
So
All right,
this
that
dude-
sounds about right.
Thomas
Conrad
Kiewicz.
Thomas Kiewicz.
Yeah, this dude is the one who's doing the Bloodwalker one, heading it up. That's a little concerning. But he was co-directing. It must have been the other guy.
Dude, going back to Cyberpunk, the driving is so bad in that game, dude.
I still haven't played Cyberpunk yet. I've kind of been refusing to. I'm like the one guy who's just refused to play any of Cyberpunk. I like the visual style of the game.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Specifically at nighttime.
Yeah, it's
Daytime, no, forget it.
I think the updates to help with the driving problem actually made it worse.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to like mod that game.
And I'm the dirty fuck who played the game and beat it like 6 times and hate the absolute shit out of the story.
Like that's what's turned me away. It's the writing. Like everybody's like, "Oh, it's such a deep and mature and edgy story," and I listen to like 2 lines of dialogue. I'm like, "Yeah, no, this was written by a 13-year-old who learned how to say fuck for the first time."
Well, there's
Well, on the
literally a
other
side
hand-
quest where the dude installed it's a shitty YouTuber insert quest, but he installed a penis enhancement.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's where they got like Jesse Cox to voice act for that quest or something.
But it's something
Humor
to
was
think
stupid.
about how far that's come. It used to be they would make a game and then think up a quick bare bones, barely a story to give an excuse for why you're running through the obstacle courses. Now look at the stories in games. I mean, not necessarily the ones that they're doing right now that are bad, but just in general, a lot of people go look into games for the story, which is quite a change from when the industry first started.
Well, hold up.
I'll tell you the game that really kicked it into high gear. It's The Last of Us.
Hold up. Let's distinguish here. First of all, there's always been RPGs games that heavily focus on the story.
Ones with really good writing too.
Yeah. Specifically, what we've been getting is movie games.
Okay, good point there.
And that goes with The Last of Us. Even though I do not hate The Last of Us, I do like the game. I don't think it's the greatest game to ever give us. I think it's pretty good.
It's a
not
good
that
game, but it's had a very bad influence.
Yes.
But I mean,
You
even
could-
platformer games have big stories to them now, when there used to be almost none.
Yes.
When you're saving
Yeah.
the princess, that's used to be the whole story.
But the reason why we're delineating is because even if you go back even to the 90s, There were games that were heavily focused on writing and story.
RPGs. That's a different ball game. Then there's there is what was it with Dirk the Daring there? What that was? No, that wasn't even much story either. Was it Dragon Quest or something like that? Dragon Slayer.
We've also been like invaded by a lot of failed Hollywood writers.
It's like comics. They see it as a way to break in.
Stepping stone.
Yeah.
And they usually write really terrible because you have to write a certain way for video games.
So I'm gonna rant just a little bit. I like some of Kojima's games, but I hate.
You don't like Kojima here, boy.
Writing is so fucking pretentious, dude. And they're making a second one now. And
Hold up.
It looks even worse.
Hold up. You're gonna have to repeat that because I did kick you when you said I like some Kojima games.
Death Stranding. I hate Death Stranding. At the very least, the writing.
Dude, the gameplay is ass. You're fucking a delivery driver.
Like, give me more of Metal Gear Solid 3 and less Metal Gear Solid 2, 4, and Death Stranding.
Dude, it is so funny. I think even Luke Steven, who's usually like kind of a shield guy, even he shits on, I think, Death Stranding.
Pardon me for a moment.
Well, I mean, Billy, whenever there's a Monster Energy product placement ad, that automatically makes it high art.
Also, that totally not MAGA hat and totally not 2016 rant from a faggot who's not even from our country. You don't remember that from the first game?
Do I have to remember?
And sadly, even Doom failed to it now.
Yeah, Doom's becoming... So I know Hugo Martin and their team, they've been wanting to add like lore and stuff, but I'm like, just so long it's off to the side, I don't mind it. Then it's like Doom, the Dark Ages, it's like, seems like a fun game, but it's like, why does the story have to be so heavy? I haven't heard a single person who said they love that.
I like a couple things, and then that's about it. The only thing I liked was like the makers actually using a device to control the Doom guy.
I like seeing like Asmongold and a few other like content creators who are like going into the Dark Ages not knowing anything else. Then they look back at Doom 2016 and Eternal. They're like, oh, we lost this? Oh.
Oh my god, and it's so funny. Like I said, Otter, because I played that the day it came out, and when I realized there's a sprint button.
Doom does not need a sprint button. Like, your default speed should be sprint.
And if you go back to any review of 2016 from when it came out to now, like before Dark Ages, everyone was like, man, it's so great that there's not a sprint button.
No sprint button, no iron sights, no reload. And no cover-based shooting either.
No reload?
Yeah, there's no reload.
Nope, you don't reload in the game.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually in line with the first two Doom games. You never reload in those games.
But I think
So
it's
just
time for
infinite bullets
No, you have to
infinite
reload.
bullets. You do run out, but it's like you never reload.
Oh, okay, I got you. So you're going down your inventory of bullets until you run out.
The only gun you technically reload on is the super shotgun. That's it. And it's a very like about a millisecond reload. That's because you're shooting. It's a double barrel.
Fallout New Vegas has some cool reloading mods. Like you can actually, well, first of all, they have all the cool animations. You can drop the mag on the ground and you can see it there. You can pick it up. If you drop it with bullets in it, it'll be there. And just really cool mods. But that's for immersion, you know.
All right, time for me to simp over Fallout New Vegas for a spell. Fallout New Vegas is the best of old school and new school Fallout, bar none.
I'm not gonna say anything to that. I think it's my favorite game right now on my Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Basically, whenever I play through that game.
When I'm actually thinking my next console, should I get one, it will be a Steam Deck.
Yeah, I think you're gonna really enjoy it. I've been loving it.
Basically, whenever I played through New Vegas, I spent like an entire summer break just to play New Vegas. It was a good time. I liked it.
The only thing Steam needs to do if they really want to clinch me on this, and maybe they already have and I don't realize it, is allow me the ability to hook it up to my TV.
Yeah, you can plug it into your TV. The thing is, you're not gonna get the same frame rate and well, you can adjust the resolution, but it's gonna take processing power to give you the resolution for your
You might
TV.
want to wait on the Steam Deck just in case if they eventually.
Oh yeah, it would be at least a couple years before I even bother getting another system. Anyway.
Well,
yeah,
it's very likely they're going to start competing with the Switch 2.
Well, the Switch 2 is having a hard time competing with the Switch 1.
I know, and I think Steam's going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, but the Steam they've said that they're waiting for battery technology to improve before they're going to push out another Steam Deck.
You know, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah, but they might need to hurry up on that a little bit. If it takes like 4 years, with the Steam
But the
Deck
thing is,
plug
they're
in.
not a hardware company, so they don't feel the same pressure to put one out. Is what I mean.
That is true. They're in control of Steam, and they're basically printing money where they're at right now.
Yeah, and if their competitors copy and download their software, they make more money because people will be buying through their store. The business model is freaking genius.
And then I just got to figure out how to do the emulators.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded the emulators yet because I haven't needed to, honest. I have so many fun games, but I'll be doing that down the line.
Also, Billy, if you were talking about some of the Final Fantasy games, they've got some of the older Final Fantasy games on Steam. That's actually how you play them now, because Square has been so shit at like trying to make remasters for their games. I think they basically just handed the software over to Steam and let them make like a more modernized version of it.
Steam. Lots of Steam.
Collecting lots of Steam.
I need to get a clip of that. What was it? Ty Herndon, I think? Yeah, the Ty Herndon song. Whenever we start talking about Steam, I'll play that.
Oh, has anybody watched the new like Predator movie that just came out?
No.
Yeah, I watched it. It was good.
I watched it yesterday. I have some thoughts on it.
Let's hear them.
Killer of Killers, Predators?
Yeah, Killer of Killers. It had some good ideas, very rough execution. I liked the idea of a lot of the stories. I think the third story was actually pretty decent. The others, I'm like, I can see the plot highlights, but a lot of these feel like the first draft to a story.
Yeah. I will admit, if a delivery is not the greatest, you could still get me in on the concept that you're trying to sell me there. But
well, Billy,
sometimes the delivery is so bad that I just, even if I like what's going on, I can't finish it.
Billy, you wanna tell what the concept is for one of the stories? They might be AFK.
Yeah,
well,
potentially.
So it's like I'm not against the idea itself, but like you've basically got sort of like you've basically got like Abby Viking, you know, where she's a woman, but she's got the physique of a man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I just thought of her as a man the whole time. I was just like, she's not a woman.
The Diesel game.
Here's the thing, like they make an effort to give her some character, and I'm like, this is actually not bad, but I wanted more because it's not enough to make you care for her. It's just a tragic backstory to make her shout a lot. Thank you, Sam.
So close.
There's a couple of points. She gets dunked into like a frozen over lake or sea like 3 times in the story, and she shrugs it off. And I'm like, you should be getting like hardcore hypothermia from that. How are you still fighting?
Yeah.
Like she's even
It's
hiding
the
under
lack
at
of a
one point
penis.
to like mask her body heat.
Yeah, it's the lack of a penis that gives her that special power.
Oh, I see. Also vengeance, because why not?
It's testosterone Tina.
I'd rather have the penis and not the power.
I like it's kind of weird because I was expecting a few more people to be a little critical of the movie. Apparently I'm the only one. Reviewers are like, oh yeah, it's like the best Predator thing in like years, and I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, I
Maybe.
mean, they did come off of the Predators with the fucking autist kid.
I don't remember that, honestly.
Probably in years is a bigger issue there.
Like
Adrian Brody one? Is that the one you're
No,
referring
no,
to?
no. The Predator, the 2018?
What gets me though is like it takes 3 stories before any of the main characters start saying, hey, this is an alien, what's it doing here? Or what is it, even is this creature? Because you get both the Viking lady and the samurai guy. The Predator just shows up at the climactic point in the story, and they just are kind of like, oh, time to kill him. I'm like, it's a creature, like, you haven't seen it before, like, not even, like, showing in a look of shock or anything.
Well, they must have seen the previous Predator movies, Otter.
Well, clearly. Like, here's the thing. I like the idea
Yeah,
of the
you're right.
stories.
They don't question it at all. Like, you don't get what the hell is that? Or,
Right. Now, I think
You're-
they just
yeah,
needed to add a bit more to some of the stories, and it would have been a lot better. The third one does add a bit more, and it's like, for me, it's my favorite one because I'm like, I still think there's some stupid stuff in it, but I'm like, at the very least, he's like having a bit of a conflict he's trying to overcome. He's like trying to take his dad's advice, like learn how to actually like become a proper mechanic. He also wants to fly. I'm like, this actually feels like a story. The other two were just, they felt like action to me. And that was kind of it.
That's funny. I've heard people say that they dislike the third story and they like the first 2 stories rather than.
How was the fucking World War II pilot one?
That's the third one.
That's the one he likes.
That's actually my favorite one.
Yeah, a lot of people had issues with the kid walking out of the plane.
Oh yeah, that was the dumb part. I'm
Yeah,
with
that
them
was
on
the
that.
good part, yeah.
That was really dumb. Like, get this. So he finds out that one of his engines is on fire. So his bright plant is so they're overseas, right? And they're being chased by a Predator UFO. His strategy isn't to land or even to graze the water. No. It's to slow down while he's still flying, open up the canopy, hop out onto the wing, and like kick the engine loose so it falls off. And meanwhile, he's got like a wrench at the steering wheel to keep it in place. And I'm like, I know this is an animated movie, but that's really stretching it, story.
That's a lot of
I think the thing that
suspension of
annoyed me when-
disbelief.
Go ahead.
That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, the thing that annoyed me when I saw it in the trailer is it really fair, or the Predators think it's fair to fight fucking World War II fighter jets
I don't know.
with a spaceship?
Like, here's the thing. I
I
think
had
that's the
issues
best
with
story
that
of the
right
bunch.
from the beginning.
It's still the best story of the bunch, all right? Because
I mean, it could be the best story, but to me,
Right.
going all the way back to the first Predator movie,
the
yeah,
Predator
he uses
is
technology, but it does seem like he is somewhat fair that he can get attacked and killed.
the Predator is also shockingly stupid in this movie throughout just about every single story. because the first two Predators, they both choose the time to attack in the middle of a siege in both stories. And I'm like, that's like the worst time to attack. Like, why not wait till after the siege?
There was
like,
a lot of stupid things. Yeah, they're all fucked up or whatever, and like battle damage, and I lost.
I like how the Predator in the first movie, he's playing it smart. He waits till the battle is over until they're actually out in the middle of nature. Then is the time to start the hunt.
And he's always waiting for them. They kill before he kills them.
And then Yusuke showed up.
There's a poetic justice to the deaths in the first film.
He also takes advantage of their fear. That's another very smart thing that the Predator in the first movie does. He makes them freak out so that they run out of resources.
They ran out of katanas.
And so in this movie, the Predator in the first movie, the Viking chick, she lays siege to an entire encampment. And keep in mind, she's killing with 2 shields. And how she's doing it is she has both of them like sheared away to where they're kind of like sort of like crescent shaped. And she's like slicing off heads and shit and dismembering arms.
Yeah, so were they bladed? They had serrated edges?
I don't think they did.
Wooden shields?
Was it just wood?
I think it was just wood.
Really weird.
Was she wearing like a belt of giant strength or something?
I know. I'm like,
well,
is she that
big
strong?
Energy she's got. Yeah.
So, anyways, when Otter was describing it, I knew that was gonna be like the feminist fucking dog shit story.
Thing is, she's not a likable character. The story tries to make you like her, but it doesn't give you enough to make you like her.
Oh,
it gives her a tragic backstory and nothing else.
Like her tits aren't big enough. She's ugly. She's old.
She's never nice.
She's not bangable. So
Otter.
She's kind of nice to her son. Kind of. I actually thought the son was going to survive in Valve Vengeance, but no, he just dies because why not?
So what you're saying, Otter, is this is the perfect opportunity to take some inspiration for your writing challenge, right?
Oh, you know, to make a character unintentionally unlikable.
Yes.
Like, I think if you reworked a few parts of her character, she would be a lot more likable.
You know how I'd rework her?
How's that?
Make it a duke, because fucking chicks weren't laying sieges to towns.
Right, and it's like, well, even if they were, they would not have her physique, because it's not just that she's a lady and she has the physique of a man. It's also that she's quite old. Like everybody calls her Granny. I'm like, how is this chick so buff at her age?
They're gonna be like,
you got osteoporosis.
There's stories of shield maidens, even though they're completely made up and they're just for fantasy.
And also, they don't have that physique, especially within that time period. Like there are plenty of
she was freaking ripped.
There are plenty of lady warriors throughout history, but they do not have that type of body type.
He found Captain Winky!
Yep.
We'll see, she's actually a Greek.
Also, the dialogue for her is not well written, in my opinion. Her voice acting is one tone, which is shout as loud and hoarsely as you can.
Sounds like Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Kind of, sort of. That was the vibe I got.
Like, I switched one time to the female just to see what the voice acting was like. Immediately switched back to the male. She was doing like she sounded like she was like smoking cigarettes for the last 40 years.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's like a god awful gravelly shit or whatever the
fuck. It's like Marge Simpson's sisters.
Also, they have like a weird bit of racism from her later on whenever they have like the main character from like the third story, the World War II story, show up. Because they're all being they're all being like suspended.
Latino?
Yeah, he's like Cuban, I think. But it's like she literally just says in the story, you were birthed from an anus or something, just to insult him randomly. And it's like female? She has no reason to insult him.
Wait, a female?
Yeah, she just says it to him out of the blue while they're all prisoners.
In World War II?
No. They're all so it's like they all fight the Predator, they all win, and then they're all captured by the other Predators, put in hypersleep, like cryosleep, and then like taken to the Predator home world to duke it out.
Wait, who's the Mexican then?
The World War II guy.
Yeah, World War II guy.
World
He's
War
the pilot.
II?
Sanchez.
Yeah.
And it's a
Yeah,
female?
No. The Viking is the female. The World War
the Viking.
I thought you were saying there was like a World War II female soldier. I'm like, what the
No.
No, it's a Viking chick, it's a samurai dude, and it's a World War II airplane pilot Mexican guy.
It's like the weirdest
Latin
bit
guy.
of it's like the weirdest bit to like try and show that she's racist, but it makes no sense. It's like, oh yeah, they're all prisoners. They're about to be dumped off to God knows where, and it's like all of a sudden she just randomly says to him, first thing is you were birthed from an anus. I'm like, okay, movie, all right, whatever.
Wasn't the only
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
So I'm like,
this
feminist like Viking chick really is not likable at all, and it's for stupid reasons.
Is she supposed to be from Norway?
I don't remember reading that
Yeah.
line. But it's funny. Sorry, go ahead.
So she wouldn't even know what a Mexican is.
No, she doesn't.
Right.
Because the only like
She should have said,
The
"Oh my
only
God, you
brown
look so golden brown and delicious."
I think they
Spit on my face.
interacted with was like Indians, right? Native Americans.
I think so, yeah.
And they were like massacred. So who would know?
Here's the weird thing about the pilot character, because it's like he's kind of my favorite character in a weird way, but it's like by the end he's also the one with like the MCU one-liners, and I'm like, all right, this kind of.
I thought you were gonna say the Yautja is your favorite character.
Does he show
well,
up?
they made the World War II pilot guy the most
Does he use
likable
tamales
out of all
and
of them.
like oranges and strawberries to beat the Predator? Like the Predator has
He's like, "Hey,
allergies,
here's some delicious
right? Has, like,
tacos."
You're gonna make this look like an episode of Tailspin.
Yeah.
They also had like the Japanese samurai character where it's like it felt like it was trying to be sort of like Ronin or Vagabond or something like that, but just with the Predator thrown in there. Like, I know the story has been praised by a few people by saying there's barely a line of dialogue in it, and I appreciate that. But I don't think there's enough visual storytelling, because you see them fight once, you see one of them run away like a bitch, and then years pass and it's like, oh, it's a blood feud now. These brothers hate each other. And I'm like, I don't know. I wanted there to be more. This ain't like primal level storytelling where it's like you get a lot from a little. I'm like, it needed more.
Yeah, the samurai story left lacking, because like just that one little thing is a reason to like run away from your brother. What?
Yeah, I think it needed just a bit more build up. And I'm like, and this is the impression I get from the entire movie is I don't hate these stories because I can see what they're going for, but they feel like first drafts to me.
Omar Glitch, I have a drawing inspiration for you.
Okay.
It's Venom, but instead of like the bell, it's a band of mariachi.
Instead of what? It's a band of mariachi. What?
Instead of a bell, right? You know, that's how the Venom doesn't like sound, right?
Yeah, how Peter got him off.
Oh, a bell. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
like the mariachi band shows up and they're doing their song and like turns around and then like another mariachi band's right there.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I'm gonna write that down because that is pretty.
And then
good.
he turns another direction and trying to escape, and Fran Drescher's there just talking.
Why am I suddenly reminded of like JonTron, where it's like he's like, "All right, time to bring out the mariachi band," and it's just like playing metal while it has like a GIF of it has like a JPEG of a mariachi group just like jittering all over the screen. I miss
Good night,
old school
Raven.
JonTron videos.
That's what we should do. Here's the thing, like if you had competent writers, you just would be better. Like you could have, like imagine the Romans captured a fucking predator, right? And they put him in like a gladiator pit.
That reminds me. Predator has surprisingly good fan films. Like, I've seen a few of them. They're actually pretty good. They're legit surprising because you can tell they have like shoestring budgets, but they still make it work. They even have like gore and shit in it, and it works.
Yeah, but I want to see a fan film where Worf goes fisticuffs with a Yautja.
I mean, technically, you got it in DS9.
That's true.
Hey, Otter. Now, quick question: Did you get the impression that the Predators can maybe move through time, or is that just me?
It's a good question, actually, because it's like, how long do they live? Because it's like they're putting them into cryo sleep, but it's like hundreds of years of passing between them.
Right, and cryo sleep doesn't necessarily have to be for the long term, but it could also be as a way to imprisoning them, so not have to feed them and take care of them, and until you're ready. So, and they are jumping through time a lot. So, and based on the other movies we have, we've seen them through multiple time. So I would think that they can maybe jump through time.
They live from hundreds to thousands of years.
That's probably my guess. I don't know if they're jumping through time, but I'm willing to... My personal theory is that they're very long-lived. Either that or it's a hardcore generational thing. Who knows?
Right.
That's what the internet's saying, that they probably live very long, like hundreds of thousands of years.
Okay. So no time jumping. Okay.
Did you
see Prey? So. Did you see her in the stasis pod at the end?
Oh yeah, I saw that. I haven't seen Prey, but I'm like, is that the chick from Prey? I think it is.
Ugh.
Yeah.
She's
Again, another female character that I did like because they didn't make her seem like she was so strong that she could just beat everything. They made it seem like she thought through things and used that to advantage, which I'm okay with.
From what I saw, I think this is like the same director as Prey and everything. That's
what
I was.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Yeah, and I have one last gripe, and I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me. It's like bits of the animation that felt jank to me, like really jank. Like for the most part, it works, but there's bits every here and there where I'm like, I don't think it needed to be that rough. Like there's like a couple of places where it's like they're either sliding down a slope where I'm like, that feels fake, or what's the other, like the characters move sort of like into the Spider-Verse or like Arcane, but it's like the camera movement is just as jittery, and I'm like, I actually kind of wanted that to be a little smooth. That way you could sort of appreciate it, but it makes it feel like the movie's like it's like you're playing a video game, but it's running at like 10 frames a second or something like that.
Thank God you brought that up, Otter, because this actually ties into 4 or 5 games from the Direct that were using the I don't know what to call the art style, but it is very much the fucking Into the Spider-Verse type shit. And they all have the characters' motion and animation running at like 15 frames a second compared to everything else.
Yeah, and I don't hate that in itself. I actually think Into the Spider-Verse does it better. It's just in this movie it felt more jank to me.
Max Headroom would blend in well.
What was that?
I said, would Max Headroom blend in well?
Yeah, he probably would, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like the one guy that I know of at the moment where I'm like, I just have sort of mixed feelings on the movie. I'm probably leaning a little more negative than positive, but I'm like, there are some good things with the movie. Like, it's not all bad, but it's not all good either. So I don't know.
Like I said, I don't like that it makes no sense that a Predator...
You're just a hater!
A spaceship to fight World War II planes. It seems
that was a little dumb, too, from my perspective. I was like, it's a spaceship fighting a prop plane, a propelled plane.
Dude,
Here's the
It's
weird
not even
part.
fair. Like, I'm not even talking about any fairness in this.
Oh, it gets
got
even
laser
more
guns and
unfair.
shit.
Like the Predator has a weapon that rips out their engines. Like that's how the Predator is fighting them.
Seriously, that could work for a comedy cartoon like Tailspin, but
Well, to me, like I said, what I said before, in the Predator 1, the original Predator, and even the second one, it does feel like the Predator will play fair.
Like the
somewhat.
Predator's wanting a challenge. That's the thing. Like they want it to be sort of like a mono square off, so it can prove itself the real like alpha male essentially.
Yet not a one of these Yautja has the balls to step to Chuck Norris.
Well, here's the thing. It's like how the Predators work in this movie. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense because the first one is like super beefy like Predator, but when he shows up, it's not squaring off against the Viking lady. He's squaring off against like an entire settlement of Vikings, and I'm like, he's not even like being stealthy or anything. He just shows up, and then he starts like ripping people to shreds in like mid siege, and I'm like,
So
why?
mid siege is stupid. However, taking on like a massive group. To be fair, that was in Predator 2.
Okay.
Well, with them, with the gang and stuff. So, however, during the siege. Why have the siege there?
For me, the real stupid part of that story is that she gets submerged into frozen water 3 times, and she doesn't have hypothermia once.
Yeah, the fingers don't fall off, the legs don't fall off, her wiener doesn't fall off.
To be
It's
fair,
just
even
a miracle.
Actually, the more dangerous thing of that happening is having a heart attack, which can't happen.
Like, here's the thing. The first time she gets tossed into, like, the frozen sea, it's like she's using the sea to mask her body heat against the Predator who's walking above. And I'm like, that would not mask your body heat. There would still be, like, traces of heat going on there.
Yeah, in fact, the contrast, you'd stand out more, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like,
Yeah,
the
the dead
contrast
cold
would
water.
actually make you stand out.
No, there's a lot of
Arnold,
inconsistencies
and
throughout
that's not
the
cold
entire
blood.
franchise. I mean, if you think about it, Danny Glover beat one in one-on-one combat with a blade.
Yeah, but he was also
And yet
Danny Glover.
another one can just tear through a whole bunch of Vikings.
Hold up, but he's also Danny Glover.
Okay, yeah.
After I watched the movie, I went ahead and watched
Mel
a
Gibson,
review or two just to see what other people were thinking about it. I watched a Chris Stuckman review, and it was so funny because it was like mindless praise for the movie, and it's like,
You already said it was a Chris Stuckman video, Otter. You don't need to repeat.
Hold up, first
well,
of all,
it's exactly what you'd expect. Boo-doo, 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 boo-doo-doo.
get his name
Hey
right.
guys, this is a great movie. You should totally watch it.
Get his name right. It is Chris Cuckman, not Stuckman. He went through a rebranding years ago.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well,
I
to be
used
fair,
to
his
watch
wife
Chris
forced
Stuckman
him
Once
to
Upon a Time.
rebrand.
What did you say, Frederick?
I was going to say, yeah, his wife took him
Oh,
through
shit.
rebranding.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's sad.
You know, I can understand why he likes the Predators. You know, really suits him.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
So anyway, we're about almost an hour over now, so unless there's anything anyone else wants to address, we're going to start the wrap up.
I want to say one more thing. This is my 3rd stream today. I'm beat. Let's close it out. Woo!
I've been hearing a lot of Highlander lately, so I'm going to end on this. I just have one thing to say. It's better to burn out than to fade away. Well, that's it for me.
Only one.
I love that movie, by the way.
Who wants to live forever?
I do.
I hope you choke on a motherfucking cheese stick, you nasty, greasy bitch. You look like you drink white Gatorade and smell like nickels. Fuck you.
Every time that gets me.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Got him.
Woo! Oh, by the way, guys, what do you think of the new setup?
Oh, I really like it, Wrangler.
Oh, having everything on the alt-right?
I thought it'd be really cool to have these on during the show.
Oh, yeah.
And then I saw them on camera, and I'm like, no.
I think you're supposed to get actual, like, those circle lights and stuff. It's supposed to be behind the camera.
Yeah, you need.
Yeah, but I had no shelves, and I needed lamps, and I'm like, oh, lamp shelves. Hey, I'm going to set up a studio with this, and that was a. I mean, I like the setup, but as far as having the lights on during, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, you need to have other lights that are behind the camera, I think, for the.
Yeah, you need to have like a ring light in front of you. That way it kind of like lights up your face and it balances out the lights behind you.
Get a big gas of shadow on my face now. I have lights directly above me, so.
Yeah, but that'll give you like shadows under the eyes.
Yeah, on your face. Because the light's direction is coming down.
But it's a nice background, though.
It really
And
is.
again, Frederick also has.
I probably should paint that wall, though. I mean, this was never meant to be an actual room. It was a carriage house at one point years ago. So when we refurbished this, it became my dad's office. And then it became my studio.
Oh,
later
dude,
on.
I wouldn't touch it. Like, it's a beautiful background. It reminds me of the same backgrounds we see in Fallout New Vegas, you know?
Now, I'm talking about, like, you know, I got my mind's going blank, the sheetrock here. And then I got all the compound here. It was never painted. It's like rough
Listen,
finish.
he's saying your house looks like went through a nuclear, apocalypse disaster.
No, it was just me.
Also, fun fact, Frederick is not wearing pants.
I am
Again?
wearing pants.
Sweet.
I'm wearing freaking jeans, you.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Crotch
you.
shot. Crotch shot.
Yeah, that's my next. Tomorrow we're going to be having the cam on the crotch shot throughout the whole show.
What's that big thing?
It's got to be
You
crotch
put a
cam.
mustache under the nose.
It's anal beads poking out.
It's giant. God. How do they grow them over there in Canada?
It's the cold, you know.
All right. On
There's
that
an
note,
opposite effect.
Otter, where can we find your stuff?
Well, you can find my stuff on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Book 2 is finishing up proofreading. I believe it's going to be done this week, and then it's going to be final adjustments before I hit publish. So be on the lookout.
Wait, that's the same update as last week, Otter.
Well, so I just got done formatting last week. I'm having a proofreader take a look at it. I'm making a few changes, then I'm hitting publish.
Okay, fair enough.
What's the name of that AI is proofreading?
Well, the AI's name is Alyssa Hazel, if you should know.
Nice. This is a joke.
All right. Homer Glitch.
Find me at Homer Glitch on all these beautiful things. Just type it in. I pop up. GarciaDesigns.com. Find me on YouTube. Like, share, follow, and subscribe to all these beautiful people here on the panel. And don't forget to hit the bell so you know when we all go live. And that's not the Taco Bell. That's the YouTube bell.
We can hit both.
You can find me alternatively on chatterbait.com under Honeybuns 2.
I'm sorry? Are you selling bathwater or something?
Body?
I said you can find me on chatterbait.com under Hentai Honeybuns 2.
Hentai
That's the Reddit
Honeybuns
joke.
2?
You heard the man, Otter.
So what's the pricing on the bathwater?
For you, free, sir. We'll just let
okay.
the Otter bathe in the glory.
He is a water weasel, which makes him an automatic connoisseur. Mr. Frederick Guimon.
imakecomics.com, retellcomic.com. I also want to draw attention. I've started a new YouTube show, which is on Saturdays called, what's it called again? Oh, yeah, Bond Disney for Stupid Americans. Americans. So this week I reviewed Valhalla Bunker. So check it out. It's a 20-minute review. I go through this beautiful, beautiful book that story takes place in New Mexico and Alaska. And this Saturday, upcoming Saturday, I'll be looking at Guerre et Dragons, so War and Dragons. So like a World War II like story that takes place with dragons mixed into the story. So beautiful, beautiful art, great stories. Check it in. I do an overview for my American friends that don't speak French and don't have access to Bond Disney.
So, Frederick, does that comic have Matthew McConaughey at one point hunting dragons and everything?
You'll have to tune in Saturday to find out, Butter.
Oh, I see.
And also tune in on Tuesdays for Proof of Comics, where I have much of the same crew as you see here. So do tune in for that. Over and out.
All right. Billy Bob, do you have anything today? Okay, as usual, he says got nothing. You know what? I got a clip for that. Where is it? Do I still have that clip? I do.
Kapla, 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 kapla.
Kapla.
Whoops. Now the computer starts messing up on me. There we go. You can find my stuff over on Amazon, Haley Star Bad Kitty and Bad Kitty Haley's World. You could just do a search for Bad Kitty and Frequency Studios. The book should pop right up. So you could also find me over on Substack and Twitter under Frequency Studios. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. It was another good time, good show, good conversation. And looking forward to doing it again next week. If you enjoyed this presentation, hit the like, and if you didn't, we appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you next time, and God bless.
Kapla, 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 kapla.
Oh yeah, all that kapla.
Kapla, 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 kapla.
There it is.
Bitch.
Got it out of him.
That's right.
Bonsoir.
Oui, oui,
Au
Frederick,
revoir.
oui, oui.
Adios.
Allez-vous chanter?
Sayonara. Auf Wiedersehen.
Oui, oui, he likes French.
Sig Heil.
And always remember. And always remember.
Jewish space laser.
Good night, everybody.